Hello, everyone. Hopefully this is working, because it is a little scuffed at the moment. But welcome to the Blind Bingo series, match number 2, starting just on time, which is half an hour late as usual. I'm your host, Rob. Joining me today are our two competitors, Zet for Team Wilhelm Scream and CJ for Team Slowpokes. How are you two doing?
Hello there. I'm pretty nervous.
Yeah, honestly, Pikmin is a game that exists.
Yeah. Joining me for commentary is Pikmin 2 speedrunner JPEP.
Hello.
And then helping both Zet and CJ will be Proazak helping Zet. Nope. Wait.
No.
Proazak
Nope.
helping CJ, Pika helping Zet.
Woo, he did it. Good job, Rob.
Yeah.
Hello.
I don't want to get us waiting too much longer, but are both of you ready to begin?
Ready as Oliver B.
Hang on, let me go in the menu selection real quick, and then I guess I'll be ready. So,
Yeah.
alrighty.
Which screen would it make sense for them to start on? This new... Well, you're both on the new
Yes.
screen, so it sounds good.
We usually start timing when we press A on these new files
Perfect.
here.
So there you guys go. Alrighty then. Let me make sure that I'm actually ready, because I have a lot of things I have to do. Okay. Fingers crossed, everything works. We're going to go ahead and get going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Good luck, everyone.
Thank you.
All right. Where do we head, Zed? Do we go
I'm
into
moving.
Team VCC?
Ooh,
And then these two.
No, okay.
Alright, it's just us.
There we
now.
go. Valley of Repose. Okay. So this is a blind bingo. Both of our players have very, very little experience with the Pikmin series, and they'll be competing to try and get as many goals as they can on this card within 3 hours. So they have quite a bit of time.
Yeah. So, what we like to do to start things off is kind of just go through an overview of these goals, because I'm looking at a lot of words. These goals are quite
Yes.
longer than other ones. And I kind of can guess what some of them mean. Like, I'm guessing 150 reds is 150 red Pikmin.
Yes. Okay.
But
We
some
can-
of them,
we can
like,
take-
trigger 3 hazard cutscenes. I don't know what's going on there, so...
Let me light your lantern. A lot of these goals have as requirements just collecting a certain group of treasures. Like you can see, row 1, column 1, petrified heart, tear stone, and regal diamond. Those are treasures in the game, which are the main objectives that you're supposed to collect. So these goals are just asking to get all of these specific treasures. You have some which are like trigger all 3 hazard cutscenes. So when a Pikmin is, for example, goes into a poison geyser, then it plays a little cutscene to tell you that this is dangerous. This goal just asks that you trigger all 3 of the ones that exist.
Okay, so they fall in poison, they fall in fire, and they fall in water.
Exactly. This is probably pretty quick to activate. Like you can do this within 15 minutes of starting the game.
Okay.
So this would be pretty quick. Making candy pop buds wilt. There's a few of these on the card. So this just means spawning all 5 Pikmin you can from these. They're just like little flowers that they will find in caves. And when you throw Pikmin in them, it changes their color, and you make them wilt by throwing 5 Pikmin in them. So in this case, they need to be found in FC. There's a lot of abbreviations on this card. Almost all of them are just the name of the caves that the game mostly takes place in. So FC is Frontier Cavern, which is a fairly late game cave. I'm not sure if we'll see our players reach that far, but we'll see. That'll be half the fun. Right, defeat all enemies on COS4. Right, that's just beating all enemies on this specific cave floor. Burgeoning spiderwort mold is like a little enemy on the overground that appears after a certain number of days, so they'll have to kill that. all 4 caves in Perplexing Pool. That's very late game as well. I kind of doubt we'll see this. That's the first goal I saw on this card, and I thought, in 3 hours, I don't know. That's not necessarily very reasonable. 100 Pikmin of a single type and 150 reds. Those are just growing a sufficient number. Professional Nosemaker is a treasure. The key is a treasure. Clear SMC3, that's just a certain sub-level in the game that you have to finish. So this is Submerged Castle 3, but Submerged Castle is very late game, so I don't think we'll see this. Crystal Clover, Crystal King, those are 2 treasures in the Bulblax Kingdom Cave. 2 Burrowing Snagrits, so they're just some enemies that they'll find in the Awakening Wood. Pilgrim Bulb is a treasure, Amplifier is a treasure, etc. Right? After that, I think it's fairly clear.
So starting off, it looks like we're just kind of in a tutorial, collecting and getting them done.
Yes.
These are red ones, right?
These are red ones, so they're working towards both the 100 Pikmin and 150 reds goals at once by doing this. So a fun fact about the speedrun, if you are already thinking, oh my god, this is an infinite tutorial section, Pikmin 2 is fairly famous for having a long tutorial section at the beginning, but thankfully we have ways to completely skip it in speedruns, and so this early game is actually quite exciting when you run the game. So, you know, it's not as boring as it looks.
Yeah. However, it's actually worth them doing these tutorials so that we can also kind of get a feel for how the game works.
Yeah, of course.
Now, as I told you, I've seen a bit of Pikmin before. I've never played Pikmin. There's, I know of different kinds. I know red, yellow, green, blue, purple?
That's almost right. There's no green Pikmin. There's no. Their little leaves are green, so I think it would be probably some consideration that it would be difficult to tell.
Okay, so what colors?
Okay, so in this game, there's just 5 colors. Red, blue, and yellow Pikmin are the 3 basic colors, and then you have white and purple Pikmin on top of that. We can talk about them more as we see them. They all have their little quirks and uses and stuff like that. Red Pikmin are the ones you always get first. In this game, they have 1.5 times the damage of most other colors. So they do 15 base damage instead of 10. And they are immune to fire, which is very useless, because fire is not a very dangerous hazard.
If they're immune to fire, just trying to extrapolate here, would blue be immune to water?
Yes, exactly.
Purple to poison?
White Pikmin are the ones that are immune to poison. Purple Pikmin are entirely combat-oriented. So it's very interesting that they give you a type of Pikmin in this game that's just not immune to anything at all, and they still end up being very worth using, because combat in the Pikmin games without the purple Pikmin, in this one in particular, is very much a crapshoot, and they help to make it a lot quicker and more consistent. So all the Pikmin speedrunners adore purple Pikmin.
Okay. I'm guessing that if purple Pikmin are more combat oriented, they're probably later.
They're actually very, very quickly unlocked. We'll see them within 10 minutes of now. All of the combat is thought, thought or was designed with these purples in mind. So it's still very hard as a game, even though you have this combat task force with you. But an interesting thing about this is that since our red Pikmin here are immune to fire, this means that you can never trigger the fire hazard cutscene with them, because if you throw them into a fire hazard, they'll just not care about it. So at least one other color of Pikmin is necessary to activate all of the cutscenes.
I mean, I imagine we'll be seeing them probably all 5 colors.
I'm a little curious. I wonder. It's definitely reasonable, but this game is pretty hard. So I could also see a world where we don't get very far in it and we don't see perhaps blue Pikmin. We'll see.
Is blue the last one?
Yes, so actually, Thank you for giving me opportunities to nerd out here. The normal unlock order is reds first, then purples, then whites, then yellows, then blues. But in the speedrun, we have the ability to completely skip. So yellow Pikmin are normally required to get blue Pikmin, right? So blue are the very last one. But in the speedrun, we have the ability to completely skip the yellows needed to unlock blues due to a very, a crazy out of bounds trick. Okay, so both players are finishing their first day here, collecting the Courage Reactor, which is the first treasure that you are meant to get. There's not that much that you can do to... Oh, someone is mashing B. Yeah, mashing B on this screen takes you back to the previous one, so... yeah, you can see we're going from male back to Pikmin, back to male.
Wow,
There
they
we
are
go.
so in sync now.
They're now... that was completely intentional, actually. It's like when Pen and Koic makes sure his speed is correct to come back to the correct parallel universe. They did that all on purpose.
Oh, jeez. The fact that we're 9 minutes in and they are basically within frames of each other, that makes me think that we have a very close match.
I hope so. It will be exciting. I hope Zed skips this cutscene. No! I told our players before the match that you can skip almost all of the cutscenes in this game by just mashing start. So CJ remembered, but not Zed. Right, here is a 5 pellet. So if you look at the card quickly, you will see that one of the goals in the first row is collect a 5 pellet of each color. And so this is a 5 pellet. So there's only 3 colors for them, right? Blue, yellow, and red. So this will count as the red 5 pellet collected, probably for both players.
Are yellow and blue ones also on this level, or are they?
I think all you need to do to make them spawn is to have the Pikmin unlocked. So yes, they will be able to come back here to get those 5 pellets later on if they have the colors unlocked. But as I said, I'm not sure if we'll see blue Pikmin today, so... I'm curious. I think it's good to keep in mind that this game is very difficult. So...
What is it about the game that makes it difficult? Because, like, to me, it's like, oh, you got these cute little Pikmin. Nothing here particularly seems difficult.
The early game is very sweet and nice and lovely. Just an adorable little romp through, this wintry wonderland. But you very quickly reach a point in the game where the caves in particular, which we haven't seen one of yet, but that'll be for soon, they become very devilish. There's a lot of enemies, and they are very chaotic. And the mental stack starts to be very huge when you need to keep track of a lot of things going on at once. We might see some of the. No, will this Bulborb fight? Okay, this Bulborb fight went okay, but it's very easy for situations to go completely wrong in this game. So I'm sure we'll have some occasion to see that in the future.
So, just making sure, because there's quite a bit of numbers at the bottom.
Yes.
The first number is how many Pikmin they have with them at the moment?
Yes, exactly.
And then the second number is how many they start with?
So the first number is how many Pikmin they have in their squad. You can see here Olimar on the right screen and CJ's screen only has 1 red with him, and now he just collected a few more, so he has 12 now. The second number, the 38 in the middle, is how many Pikmin are on the field right now. So this can go up to 100. And the last one is just how many Pikmin they have in total, like in the onions as well, which are this red thing on the left is the onion, right? It just stores the Pikmin for you. And since you can't take out more than 100 on the field, there's frequently a ton more Pikmin just waiting in there. That third number is not particularly useful. Your total Pikmin count is not really a value that you ever need to think about. But the 2 others are very important. very frequently when you play this game, you're just doing something and everything is okay, and then you see the middle number drop by like 10. And it's like, oh, okay, there's just something going on elsewhere. And a bunch of people are dead now.
Yeah, because this is, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, this is almost like a RTS game.
Exactly, yes.
But you don't
It's
have
Nintendo's
an
take on it.
overview of everything. You're controlling
Yes.
the guy in it. Oh.
That's exactly what it is.
So I imagine the difficulty is if you run out of time.
Yes, exactly. You have to constantly be very careful with your numbers, and when you're playing casually, and when you're speedrunning as well. The game is sufficiently ruthless that there's very real chances that you put yourself in situations where you don't have enough Pikmin to continue in a cave, for example, or to fight enemies. It's a hard game. We'll get to see it. Not right now, but very soon.
It's funny because earlier you were talking about how I was giving you an opportunity to go, and I'm like, oh my goodness, all this game is like a lot of numbers and math, and I'm like, oh my god, I love it.
Oh, are you a math guy?
I was a math teacher last year.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm a math
teacher. I
PhD
teach
student.
history now, but I was a math teacher.
Ah, I see.
But,
Oh, that's lovely. I'm a math PhD student, so
oh, there you go.
I feel very at home.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I teach at a middle school level, so not quite.
Oh, okay.
nearly as
That's sweet.
sophisticated as a math PhD, but.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have. Someone has to teach the middle schoolers, and
Oh, yes.
that's how you get them interested in doing their own PhDs later.
Exactly. You can't start a PhD unless you get to middle school first.
Mm-hmm. Ah, now I want to talk about this. It's gonna take some effort to focus on the game.
So I imagine
so-
what they really are trying to do, though, correct me if I'm wrong, is they're trying to get scrap back to their ship and make it
Exactly,
essentially
yes.
a certain amount of money.
That's exactly correct. The main goal of the game is to collect 10,000 Pokos, which are the unit of currency that the game uses. As you can see that, for example, the treasure that CJ just collected is worth 170 of these units of currency. And most of these treasures you're going to find, some are in the overworld like these, in the beginning of the game, but most are going to be in the caves, which are going to come up very soon for CJ. You can see in the distance on their screen, this hole in the background. This is a cave. So I'm curious if CJ will have noticed that there is some water over on the right here. So they could technically start with the drowning cutscene and the water hazard cutscene, and throw a red in there and watch him drown.
But that would be monstrous.
I'm sorry, sir. This is how it goes. You have to be able to separate yourself from how cute the carrots are when you play this game, because they die easily.
Yeah.
Okay, it does seem like we're oh, don't run in though. Yeah, just one pick. Perfect. That's exactly. Oh. Okay, so you can save the Pikmin by whistling him, but that was just a little bit too quick, and so the Pikmin didn't have... Oh, excuse me, I'm stupid. I don't know. What am I saying? The water hazard cutscene isn't when a Pikmin goes into the water to drown like this. It's very specifically when a Pikmin is hit by a certain enemy type in this game called a watery blowhog, and it gives them this unique dying animation. Okay. Wow, I completely forgot about this. My bad. But yes, so it'll be in a different setting. There are many watery blowhogs in this game. I can think of a few, but they're not anywhere close. So I wonder when we'll be able to see this, if we see it at all.
So both of them have a large number of red at this point.
Yes.
That's 64. That's 70.
That's a pretty good amount, yes. I think usually it's kind of unwieldy to play with too many Pikmin, actually. A group of 100 is a lot more difficult to deal with than if you only have, say, 80. So this is a comfortable amount, I would say. I would not go looking for too many more.
No, but at the same time, you have to imagine
They
that
need-
both of them are like, oh, we want to get our first goal, and 100
Right.
single type to be equipped potentially.
This is definitely something that they will want to get. Yeah, I forgot about this. 150 reds is also on the card, so I think like a very good first approach would be to just grow a lot of these red Pikmin, way more than they need, but you know, like get those quick, easy goals out of the way. CJ has kind of taken quite a bit of a lead here. They're already in their first cave, which is quite a bit further ahead than Zed is. I think most of this was caused by the fact that Zed went back to get some of the 2 pellets in the starting area for Louis in the previous day, the blue captain. And they're very, very far out of the way and not worth a lot of Pikmin, right? It's only 6 Pikmin difference between them, which is, not enough to justify doing that. So, yeah, Zed definitely lost a bit of time here.
It's worth saying, because I know this is something you wouldn't know. The difference between Zet and CJ, even outside of just Pikmin, though, is quite interesting. Where CJ is a staff member of Bingothon, has been doing bingos for years.
Ooh.
Zet, long-time viewer and helper of Bingothon, however, only did their first bingo in the last 6 months.
Oh, really? Interesting. So there's a lot more experience on CJ's side than on Zed's then.
I
Okay.
think, if I'm correct, this is only the 3rd game that I think Zed has ever done.
Wow, that's
Possibly.
that's scary. That's rough. They did not choose the easiest one to start with.
Well, I was the one who chose the game for them, so.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. Thank you for giving us a day in the limelight.
Oh yeah, I get to be the MC, so I'm the one who chooses what games everyone suffers through.
Very good choice today then.
Oh, you know what? With it being Easter tomorrow, let's do something outdoorsy. It's almost like an Easter egg hunt.
Oh, you're right. That's a sweet way of viewing it.
Yeah. That's where I came up with the idea of Pikmin, and then I arbitrarily decided Pikmin 2 over Pikmin 1.
So, I'll just comment quickly on what's going on CJ's screen right now. CJ unlocked the purple Pikmin by throwing them into these candy pop buds. And let me check what the candy pop buds goal are. Right, there's one in GK, and there's one in FC. I think that's it. Right, so this one won't count because it's not in one of the caves where he's meant to make candy pop bud wilt. But he's unlocked purple Pikmin now, and purple Pikmin differ from red Pikmin in a variety of ways. They are a lot slower. They walk way slower, and their carrying speed is way slower. So, if you want some nerdy numbers, when you have a red leaf on a treasure, it counts for 1 unit of carrying speed, let's say, and a purple leaf counts for only 0.6 units of carrying speed. So it's a lot slower, almost half. But purples have a ton of advantages that help make up for that. First of all, they carry worth 10 Pikmin. So this big globe treasure, its weight was 101 Pikmin. And so the only way you can possibly carry it with the limit of 100 Pikmin on the field is to have some purples counting for 10 in there instead of 1.
Okay, so one
purples
purple has the strength of 10 red. Okay.
Exactly. All other Pikmin just have the strength of 1 red. So purples just are uniquely powerful in this way.
It's funny because you made the comment that purple are like combat.
Yes.
It's almost like they're just tough all around.
Yeah, they're also very heavy. They weigh for 10. There's very few objects in this game where weight is important, but they do weigh 10 instead of 1 as well. And those bags that the players crushed earlier, if you need to crush 30, for example, the weight of 30, then 3 purples would be enough. And they're also very good at combat, of course. When you throw them, they have a pound attack, which does very high damage, and which can stun enemies, which is extremely useful. And their base damage is also twice the normal base damage. So red Pikmin are 15 base damage, which is 1.5 times. Purple Pikmin are 20 base damage.
I'm having my mind blown because I just realized. I know you had said this, but I literally only just realized this was a globe. Because I'm like,
Yes.
that is literally Canada and the U.S. I'm like, wait,
It
we're
is
on
the Earth. So the lore, if you will, is that Olimar and Louis are, they're 1.5 millimeters tall, and they come from this alien planet called Hokotate. And on their travels, on his travels, Olimar got crash landed here in the first game, and you find out, little by little, that actually, like this strange alien planet on which he is just Earth. So all of these treasures that the players are going to collect are just, things you would discarded trash that you would find outside. It's lovely. We all really like the general atmosphere of this game. Okay.
I knew what's his name? Olimar?
Olimar, yes.
I knew Olimar was like a space guy. I thought he like crash landed on an alien planet and fell.
Yeah, the alien planet is just here. CJ with a pretty significant lead. Now he's on to... So getting that globe treasure, this is how you unlock the next area, right? Because it's like a map for Olimar. And now he's able to go into the Awakening Wood, which is the second area of the game. And this is still a little bit of a calm, tutorial-ish area, but he's going to get into the thick of things very quickly. We're not going to have calm for that much longer.
Now, if you said it's Awakening Wood, does that mean that Pilgrim Bulb, row 4, column 1 might be implied?
Let me check. Yes, exactly. Pilgrim Bulb is a treasure in this area. However, it is a buried treasure, and buried treasures cannot be obtained by any color of Pikmin. You need white Pikmin who have X-ray vision, I guess, and they can dig up these treasures. So actually, it's very close to where CJ is right now. It's just on that flower pot, just on the left of him. That's where the bulb is, just up there. But he can't get it quite right now.
So that's something where once they get white Pikmin, they'll have to come back.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Here we are just collecting Pikmin. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, we want the goal of 100 reds, and of 100 Pikmin and 150 reds.
Right. I imagine red Pikmin are the most common.
Yeah, just because the game gives them to you first. They're just like your general workhorse is red Pikmin. But after that, blue, yellow, and red Pikmin are grown in the same way, and so one of them. The red will only be more common because you'll have found them earlier and have had more time to collect them. Purple Pikmin, as well as white Pikmin later, can only be grown inside of these flowers, inside of the caves. That's I guess a balancing decision, right? It's because they're very powerful. Purple Pikmin in large numbers make combat a lot easier.
Right.
So you're intentionally limited in the amount of them that you can get.
That makes sense.
There's also a lot of mechanics where these flowers won't spawn if you have too many purple Pikmin with you. So I think 20 is the cutoff after which the flowers start not spawning anymore. So that, you can't just get too many.
So you said the purple Pikmin are slower too, right?
Yes, they're slower to move and slower to carry items.
So I imagine that as a speedrunner, in the speedrun, you want to try to limit or be very strategic with using the purple Pikmin.
Yes, absolutely. So it's actually, the purple Pikmin are they're such a beautiful part of this speed game, man. So you are required to grow 20 purple Pikmin exactly for to unlock one cave area, which is just beyond the gate there where CJ is right now. So we grow exactly 20 and not one more. But the fact that they carry 10 is very, very good for us, because this means that if we have, for example, imagine that we have a cave where one treasure is close and one is very far. We might just put a few purple Pikmin on the close treasure to get it moving quickly. It won't move very fast, but it will be moving. And during that time, we can go take care of the one that is much further. And so in that way, purple Pikmin let us do a lot with a potentially limited number of Pikmin. This is also very useful because the speedrun there's enemies in caves, right? And when you bring their bodies back to the ship, you get a little bit of money. And in the speedrun, this is very important because we route in 265 Pokos, the currency still, that comes from these bugs. And it's very easy to just kill an enemy and throw one purple Pikmin on it so that it will carry back while you're doing other things and just completely forget about it. It means you have to put a lot less thought, or a lot less. You can carry large enemies easily like this at the cost of some speed, of course, but it makes for a very interesting metagame. I'm noticing that CJ has not clicked the 100 Pikmin of a single type yet. Oh, of course he hasn't. He has some purple Pikmin with him. I was.
There's some bugs there. I don't know. Is there an easy way to tell exactly how many of what color you have?
Yes, if he opens the pause menu right now, he will see.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm stupid. Of course, he has 94 reds right now and 10 purples.
Okay.
Hall of Beasts. Okay, we're going into the second cave of the game. This one is interesting. It has a few treasures that CJ will want to collect because there are, let's see, 12 treasures worth exactly 100 Pokos is on the card. And the treasure on this sublevel, for example, the Stone of Glory, is worth exactly 100 Pokos. So this will be very good for him. I think this will be the second treasure worth exactly 100 that he gets.
So are the treasures' prices predetermined?
Yes.
Okay. So they could, in theory, look up like a guide that'll tell them exactly which treasure would be worth.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. How many, this is a weird question, do you know how many treasures in the game are worth exactly 100?
Oh no, that's let me check the list of treasures. I'm sure I can count that very quickly.
If it's like, it's 12 out of 13 they need, or if it's like 12 out of 30.
100 is definitely one of the more common treasure values, but I need to make sure that I'm not saying something stupid here. So there's also different treasures on the different game versions, so sometimes that can come in the way of things.
So both of them, I believe, we identified around the same values.
Yes.
That won't be an issue.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There's a lot, okay? There's over 30. Yeah.
Sounds good. So they have interesting routing options for that.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. What will be interesting to me is how if they can know that these treasures are worth 100, because it's not obvious how much a treasure is worth before you collect it, right? Mm-hmm. And they don't really have any reason to collect treasures that aren't, either some of the ones that are asked for by other goals, or the treasures that are upgrades, like. There's no reason to collect the strawberry, for example, for Zed, or the strawberry that was there just a second ago, because it's not in any of the goals on the card, and there's no particular point to getting more money. It doesn't unlock anything to have more money. So
yeah, so it's in a position where you really want to just advance the game as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
and only go out of your way for things if it's direct.
Exactly. We're seeing some nectaring here on CJ's side, so I'll take a second to explain that. See, we got a strawberry collection on the left, the Sunseed Berry, but this is, as far as I can tell, this is completely useless. Because it's worth 170 Pokos, and there's just no goals on this card that ask for money. Yeah, nectaring on the left as well. So nectaring, so this happens when the Pikmin consume these puddles of yellow goop on the ground. And this turns them into flowers, and flower Pikmin are so lovely. They move faster than other Pikmin, and they carry treasures faster as well. So this is fantastic for us.
Was that the fire cutscene?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
I was just about to comment on it as well. This is the fire cutscene that is now viewed, so that's 1 out of 3.
Okay. Looks like CJ is cordoned off the rest of the purpose.
We're seeing the same. Yes, that is clever. We're seeing the same the same thing on the left as before, of thinking that the water is what activates the water hazard cutscene. And those reds are dead. Yeah, that's way too late. Oh, one of them is safe, but one of them died. Yeah, so I wonder how long it will take that. No, no! That's not good. Don't do this. It doesn't work like this.
Well, he saved them. He saved them.
Yeah. I hope they keep just moving forward and forget about this.
That's the thing is, CJ may have a slight lead here, but if CJ makes a big mistake, it can easily flip-flop.
Yeah. CJ is gonna ignore this treasure. Yes, I'm very proud of him. This treasure is worth 230 Pokos, and it's not one of the ones that's asked for on the card, so there's absolutely no reason to collect it. In fact, I don't think a single Hole of Beast treasure is anywhere on this card. Okay. I believe this is also a perfectly useless sublevel for CJ here. Well, he can grow purple Pikmin. Oh, that's big mistake here. Trying to swarm the legs of the bulborb with the purple Pikmin. Purple Pikmin, when swarming, so swarming is what happens when you use the C-stick. It just moves the Pikmin around. In a very you can control them in a very precise fashion. But the purple Pikmin are very good because of their pound attack mostly for combat. So in this case, trying to use the C-stick to attack the bulborb with the purple Pikmin cost him a large number of purple Pikmin, which are very difficult to grow. So for me, this is a mistake that would warrant resetting the sublevel. The game saves in between every sublevel, so you can do this at little cost. Yeah. There's a flower on this sublevel that lets you grow 5 more purple Pikmin. Probably exactly because of this. The game devs knew that you would probably try to fight in a not so clever way. Sorry, CJ. It's gonna be just in that little alcove here, in that candy cane room we call it. In the back. There's your flower. So one important thing to know about this game is that all of these caves sublevels are randomly generated. Yes, or pseudo-randomly generated. It is exclusive. It is what makes the speedrun so fun. So the game for every sublevel, sublevels are what these floors in the caves. For every sublevel, the game has a certain set of parameters that it's going to randomize within. So this sublevel 4 of the Hole of Beasts always has always has 2 rooms, and it's always one of the big room and one of the candy cane room. But their exact locations and where exactly the enemies and treasures are in the room are completely random, or random generated by an algorithm. And so a very large part of the skill set in the Pikmin 2 speedruns is to get as much information as you can, as quickly as you can about these sublevels, so that you can make a clever game plan quickly to collect all of the treasures. And it's endlessly fascinating to flowchart all of the possibilities and stuff like that.
So we have, so like you said, halfway through that subsection, you would have reset because of the mistake. When you reset,
I would definitely
does it get re-randomized?
Yes, exactly. But in a speedrun, if you reset, your run is dead. It takes much too long. This is the Empress Bullblax. She killed 20 Pikmin because, she's a pretty seriously difficult first boss. But she is also the first clicked goal on the card. Defeat an Empress Bullblax.
There we go. So
CJ with the first click. And thankfully, I think it was only Reds that died in that massive rolling attack that she did, so... Ooh, meanwhile, Zed is doing something very interesting. Zed is killing a creeping chrysanthemum. So you can see in row 4, column 3, defeat all 3 creeping chrysanthemums. Oh my god, that's hard to say. mums. We call them mums in Awakening Wood. So that's one of them. That's just this big flower enemy. And there's 3 of them
Are the other
here.
2 easy to reach?
Not quite. One of them requires the blue. Well, you can reach it without the blue Pikmin, but normally requires the blue Pikmin, and the other requires the white Pikmin. So this is definitely the easier of the 3.
So it's progress towards a goal, but whether the goal actually is done.
Yeah. I think that really needs to go into the Hall of Beasts right now. That would be where he reads. Okay, CJ is back, battered, bruised, but not defeated, onto Awakening Wood. He collected the treasure gauge, which is the thing you see at the bottom right now above the Pikmin, the total Pikmin number. So it's the upgrade that the Empress Bulldax does. Drops, sorry. What it does is that the little arrow ticks up when you're near a treasure. And so you can see here is detecting the treasure on top of the flower pot, and it's indicating to CJ, hey, there's something nearby.
That is a lot of Pikmin. I wonder how close they are to actually having that.
I'm positive that Zed has 100 reds now. There's no way. Yeah, with what they've done so far, there's no way they could have more than 26 purples. I think the maximum would be 24. So yeah, I wonder what that goal is unclicked.
Maybe they don't realize it yet.
Yeah. I hope they find the Hall of Beasts soon, because they can't progress to the left here until they have... This bag is 200 weight to be crushed, so you need a lot of purples to do it with their 10 weight. And the purples are inside the Hall of Beasts.
I see. It's the hole, but there that they want to go.
Exactly. Ah, okay. No, that was good. No, don't run. Do it again. Just throw him. It takes us. Yeah, just a bunch. Sure. Okay, perfect. This is the poison cutscene.
So we've seen CJ to the fire and Zek to the poison.
Yes. So one on each for them.
But not the same one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. Looks like CJ found the Hall of Beasts and wants to go in there, but not without all of these extra Pikmin sorry, Zed wants to go there, but not without all these extra Pikmin that they left near spawn. I hope they realize that they don't need that many Pikmin in the Hall of Beasts. It's not sufficiently hard so that 57 or whatever reds will not be able to clear it.
They might be thinking of a mindset of better being not prepared than not prepared.
Yeah, for sure. So both players are going to probably have a little bit of difficulty here, because the next spot in progression is white Pikmin, and the white Pikmin you need to go over that bag, which is 200 to weigh it down on the right, and that is a lot of weight, and that requires a lot of purple Pikmin. And with the big amount of deaths that CJ had in that cave, I don't know if we're going to be able to reach the required number of purples. The required weight here. So you can see that number is going up. 50.
Yeah, this is not going to be enough.
70, and then, but the purples they're heavy, but they're not very numerous. Yeah, that's going to cap out at 160. Yeah, we need more purples. That error in Hall of Beasts 4 where he let a lot of purples get devoured by the Bulbul is costing greatly. So now we need to re-enter and go look for some more.
Alright. Well, this seems like a good chance to potentially start talking with some of our competitors. So what we can do is pull one of them in and see what they're thinking, what their strategy is, and
Ooh, that's lovely. Can we give them some hints, or should we stay?
What I like to tell our co-commentators is you can give them hints if you wish, as long as you're not playing favorites.
Okay, I
So
see.
like, don't help one person if you're not going to help them.
And not the other.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
But that being said, why don't we go ahead and start with CJ, actually.
Of course, let's
Go
go.
ahead, I'll pull CJ and Chloe.
This is very fun. I'm so excited. Hello.
I think I need to convert at least 2 flowers.
Hi!
Hi, CJ.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
So, congrats
So-
on
Hello.
the goals so far.
Yeah, nice Empress Bulblax kill.
Unfortunately, I lost too many purple Pikmin in this cave on the last try, so...
Yeah. So, I've been told that I'm allowed to give a slight hint as long as I don't play favorites. So I will say to you, the purple Pikmin are very good at combat, but they're very good at combat when you throw them on people. Trying to use the C-stick to put them on the Bulborb's feet, that's not gonna work very well for almost all enemies. So try to throw them on top of their head instead.
Good advice.
Very good advice. Made in France.
So what's your strategy right now, CJ? Like, both
We're just
short and...
mostly trying to do game progression as much as we can right now.
Okay.
So after we're trying to get to White Flower, the next cave, to get White
Yes.
Pikmin, so we can move on. Pretty much.
Sensible.
Any...
And then after that, I don't know what we're going for, realistically.
Fair enough. You don't want to plan too much ahead. Any goals that you do have your eye on?
100 Pikmin of a single type and 150 reds, because that's pretty easy to do passively and pretty heavily synergistic.
Yep, that makes sense.
Have you been enjoying playing Pikmin for 45 minutes?
Or yeah, I mean, it definitely gets worse when you start getting later into the game. Can I not?
Oh, it gets harder, yeah.
Alright. Well, you
Okay,
know,
I can't just leave the cave.
well, you know, you're a
You can if you go through the start menu.
Oh, start menu.
Yeah, start and then click R twice. Or L once, I think. Yeah, give up and escape.
That way.
Also, I'm just saying this, I'll say this to the both of you, but you don't need, when you go to the next sublevel in a cave or when you exit it, it's not a problem if you don't have all of your Pikmin with you. They will follow you all to the next sublevel anyway, or they'll all follow you out of the cave, but they won't get left behind.
It's only if they're like in like plant form they get left
Yeah.
behind, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So I did have that remembered correctly,
Ooh.
or Prozac helped me clarify that.
I am no Prozac, I am Pikmin fan. Hello, I like Pikmin. I know all about Pikmin. You want half-price Bulbob? I offer good deal. You buy Smoky Prog now, I give second. Absolutely free.
Well, thanks for allowing us to check in, see where your head's at.
Yeah.
You seem to be doing quite well so far, so here's hoping the next 2 hours and 15 minutes go well.
Good luck, good
See you
luck.
guys in a little bit.
Check back in about an hour. Sound good?
Sure.
Okay.
See that?
See ya.
And no surprises there. It sounds like CJ's basically doing what we've suspected.
Yeah, he seems like he knows a little bit what he's doing.
Not trying to plan too far ahead, but also definitely aware of the 100 single type of.
Yeah.
Now,
Lots of death,
Is
for
this
example.
the Empress Bulblax for?
Yep.
Okay.
That's gonna be it. She killed like 10 Pikmin, which is fine. That's yes. Zed went for a lot more of a conservative approach, which is very reasonable. because this boss in particular just has the capacity to kill, a full squad of Pikmin in seconds if she just rolls on them. So that was cleverly played. Okay, if we bring Zed in.
One goal, why don't we go ahead and get Zed in here as well?
Yeah, good idea.
Hi, Zed.
Hello, Zed.
Greetings. How's it going?
Good. Congrats on your first goal.
Yay!
So, how you feeling so far? You enjoying the Pikmin?
Pika is doing his best to find a suitable route, and I have all of my confidence put in him because I have absolutely no idea what all these goals mean.
Well, then maybe I should be asking Pika this next question. Pika, what's the route gonna be? Do we have a plan?
Yeah, so my plan already got kind of derailed because I was thinking there was going to be a burgeoning spider-wort mold like in the Awakening Woods, but I forgot that it doesn't seem to be there yet. I was like, oh, well, it's not there yet, it doesn't look like. I know there's the Pilgrim Bulb that I want to get, but you need a white Pikmin for that. So I'm just trying to, and so we wanted to go to the, I know the next objective is to go to the next cave, which will have both the white Pikmin, and if I'm not mistaken, it's got one burrowing Snagret at the as the boss as well.
Yes.
So that's one of our objectives as well. Yeah, and then we defeated one of the creeping chrysanthemum. I think that's the name.
Both of you and J-Pep butchered it.
Yeah, c'est pas
I
français,
think
on peut
it's
pas faire.
But yeah, and then okay, the thing we've been wondering about is what the hell is going on with, because if we I think you saw what we're trying to do. We're trying to intentionally drown the Pikmin. Why was it not showing the hazard cutscene?
Okay, I've been told I can give some hint, so I'm giving you a little hint here. The water hazard cutscene does not play when a Pikmin is drowning. It plays very specifically when a watery blowhog. Something funny is going to happen. Okay, no. It plays very specifically when a watery blowhog sprays the Pikmin, and there's not that many watery blowhogs in the game.
Okay, I see. Because I remember I was telling Zed earlier. Oh yeah, I was suspecting that it was when the Pikmin specifically gets sprayed in water that maybe that's when it plays.
That's exactly it.
There we go. We were on the right track. So now the question is to remember where the hell they're at, and is it even attainable within the time we've got allocated?
Well, you guys have a little over 2 hours to go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Certainly enough time that anything can happen.
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts before I let you guys run them up again?
So it really hurts to not get every single treasure and just pass by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You passed up one that is worth 100, by the way, in the whole of these first
I was wondering
sublevel.
about this.
Oh,
The
what's
stone,
there?
yes, the stone treasure in the whole of beast sublevel 1 is worth 100.
Ah, I see.
It's okay, it's just one. I'm sure that won't come back to bite you.
11 treasures.
Yeah, with 12 of them, it's because it's a case. Because wait, I think I've got a list somewhere.
Yes.
I've got 70 tabs.
I have 100 red Pikmin. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
I'm also looking forward to be able to go back to VC because I don't have your screen set anymore,
Yep.
so I
Oh,
don't know
no.
what I'm doing.
I will go
How
ahead
do I
and bring
manually
you guys
enter
back, alright? But,
Yeah. But yeah, thank you.
We'll,
Thank you for bringing us in.
yeah, we'll check
Yes.
back in about an hour.
All right. Take care. Thank you. Have a good one.
Take care.
Alright.
Okay.
Well, it's tied up. I will say our tiebreaker rules is whoever marked their last goal first would win.
Makes sense.
So currently CJ is still leading, but it sounds like Zet and Pika might actually have more of an idea of what's going on.
They seem like they have more of an idea of what's going on, but they're not CJ is managing to progress better off of just doing things, right? I'm seeing a lot of hesitation on that side and waffling about a little bit. While CJ is just doing things, and in this pretty linear early game, just doing things and getting some progress on the board is helping a lot.
Yeah. Is that
He just unlocked the white Pikmin.
Was that elite total on that screen? I think it was
what's it?
1337.
Oh, yeah, that's like it. Here's the poison cutscene for CJ.
Okay, so CJ's now at 2.
Yes, just don't kill everyone, please, CJ. That's a lot of everyone that you're putting in the poison. Please don't kill them all. That's a lot of purples in there as well.
Oh, geez.
1 death. 2. I would reset this, please. No. That's killing a lot of purples on dumb things like this is kind of a problem.
CJ seems to be taking much more of a go quick, go fast, be a little clumsy. Whereas Zed's taking things slower but more carefully, and therefore is like, for example, Zed didn't have to go back into the cave to get Pikmin again.
I'll also mention quickly that if you look at row 1, column 1, the first treasure that was required here was the Petrified Heart in Whiteflower Garden 2, and I believe that CJ collected this just when he was in that sublevel just a second ago.
Oh, okay. So that's progress.
What is a little bit strange to me is that CJ is doing anything on this sublevel because this sublevel has no goals at all for him. There's no 100 value treasure. The one in the back is 90, and this mushroom is 30, I think, 40. So this is just a whole lot of time spent killing Pikmin for no advantage. Okay. Let's see how things go against the burrowing Snagrit.
So the burrowing. So how many burrowing Snagrits are there?
Way too many.
More than 12?
No,
it's 2.
Oh,
I
more than
misread
12.
the goal. I thought it said 12.
More than 2. Yes, there's easily 5. I think the problem will be finding the second one for sure, because there's many available, but they're not necessarily in trivial areas of the games to reach. Like they'll be a little further in progression. So I'll be curious to see if we can get there. Right. CJ is currently throwing the Pikmin on the body of the Snagrit, which is not what you're supposed to do. So he takes very, very reduced damage on that hitbox, and you're meant to attack the head as it's coming out of the ground like this.
It looks like CJ's catching up.
Yeah. This is generating a lot of leaf Pikmin, which is not great, but
Is that clearing that 200?
I think that's just not enough. Yeah. Yeah. They'll need to be brought to the group. We're trying to C-stick the Pikmin on the body now, which is, I guess it's doing damage, but it's not a lot.
Alright, I think Zet has just enough.
Yeah. That's a fairly small squad, and there's not a lot of red Pikmin in it. Yeah, the issue is that to generate white Pikmin, you need to sacrifice a Pikmin of another type, right? That's what happens when you throw them in these flowers. It's like one Pikmin gets converted to another color. Zed can't really afford to lose too many purple Pikmin, right? It's better to keep them, let's say.
Well, you just said it has to be a Pikmin of another color, so can he sacrifice red?
Yeah, as long as he has enough reds with him.
I mean, Zed has a lot of reds right now. Yeah, you want, obviously, 150 reds, but sacrificing 1 or 2 reds is not going to be
Yes.
Like both-
I'm just curious if he has enough to do it with the reds. If he enters with just these few reds he has on hand here, or if he'll go back to look for more. Okay, Snagrid defeated after a true massacre on the right. That was, I think, 20 deaths or 19 on the burrowing Snagrid. We did not figure out to hit the head, but it's okay. I wonder what this does for 100 Pikmin of a single type now. Should this goal be unclicked? Because I'm pretty sure that there's not 100 Pikmin left of the red color on this.
I would say, for the sake of this being a blind bingo, that once they got it, they got it.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Otherwise, we're gonna be having a lot of issues with the 150 ones.
Yes.
As long as both of them are following the same rule set, I don't think it particularly matters. So.
Right.
And for the sake of simplicity, I'll just say that they got it.
I hope Zed doesn't enter with just these few, because then they couldn't grow all 15 white Pikmin without sacrificing a ton of purples.
Now, does CJ have white? Oh, I guess I do see white.
Yes. So white Pikmin, just to go quickly over their abilities, they're awesome. They're my favorite. They go very, very, very fast. They have triple the carry speed of other normal Pikmin. They contribute 3 as a leaf instead of just 1 to the carrying formula.
And that's why
They run.
purple has 10.
No, sorry. Purples, they have 0.6 to the carry formula. What you're thinking of is lifting power, right? Ability to. White Pikmin are just very fast. They carry things fast. They run fast. They're immune to poison, and they can see treasure underground.
But as a speedrunner, you like the Pikmin that go fast.
I know, it's crazy, right? There is a bit of a divide in our community over whether we like purples or whites more. Some people have tried to route the game without using Sergeant, his name is, has tried to route the game without using any white Pikmin, which is doable. You can technically finish it. It just takes like 30 more minutes than if you use them. But I think we all like whites a little bit more. It's just so fun to use them and make things go very fast. Okay, Zed is now inside of the White Flower Garden, and this sublevel does not have anything of interest for him. Okay, CJ is using the whites and beelining to the Pilgrim Bulb here on top of the pot. So that goal will probably get clicked fairly soon. But with only white Pikmin, the buried treasure is going to take a very long time to get dug up. So, you know, there'll have to be some multitasking going on here.
Oh wait, I missed me still not fully understanding how the game works. I thought all of Zed's Pikmin were dying for a second.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I didn't realize they're just picking things up. Oh my goodness.
Would be impressive to manage to kill a whole squad on White Flower Garden 1.
I imagine there's never really a situation you want to just kill all your Pikmin.
Actually, yes.
Really?
Only in the all treasures run, not in payoff depth, not in any percent. There is a situation at some point where we have 40 yellow Pikmin with us, and we want to take out some other Pikmin, but we already have 100 on the field. So the best solution to that is just to kill all of the yellow Pikmin. They get crushed by boulders and replaced by 40 other more useful guys.
That is brutal.
Yeah, this game is not tender. Well, you know, that's life.
I suppose.
We get disincentivized. Oh, desensitized to it?
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, it is quite gruesome. People always scream, "No, no, poor yellows!" in the chat when runners have to do this. But yellow Pikmin are useless, so the rest of us are completely fine with it.
Nah, I think what I would have to do is every time I get there and be like, all right, this run is now dedicated to our fallen comrades.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if you would still think that after 300 runs that reach this point and that
probably
die.
not, but like, I don't know. So my experience with Pikmin is very interesting because, like I told you, I have not played the games. But one thing, we got that Pilgrim Ball. Nice.
Yeah. There it is, collected.
One thing that I was introduced to though, back when I was like a teenager, was the Japanese song that was used for the Pikmin 2 trailer.
I know Uta, right?
Exactly. And I fell in love with that song.
Me too, really?
Oh, absolutely. I
that's so
speak
sweet.
no Japanese, but I learned the words to the song and I would sing
Yes.
it. It is, anyone who has not heard this song, please, please, please listen to it.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Enjoy how adorable it sounds, and then you can look up the lyrics and realize how fucked up it is.
Oh, no. That's it's so sweet that you mentioned this.
Yeah, no, I
Sweet story,
love
first
the
of
song.
all. But also, I also adore it. And when I was like 14 or 13 and I discovered it, I cried all the time when I listened to it.
Same.
Because it's so sad.
Same.
Like it's brutal. I love this.
For those who don't know about the song, it's basically a love letter to the Pikmin, where they're basically like, yeah, we're gonna sacrifice our lives for you, and we're at peace with that. And it's like, god damn, that is brutal.
That hits hard.
It hits so hard. Oh my, I'm literally tearing up just thinking of that.
No, it's okay.
Oh
It's
my-
okay. You can play Deathless and then
Wait, is that a run?
no, yeah. Sadly, the issue with the Pikmin 2 speedrun is that you can play Deathless, and I mean, it is a run. Sorry, let me go back on this. It is a run, but no one plays it because it's very cumbersome, and Pikmin die so easily in this game that your runs just die all the time to very random, hard to control things. But it is doable if you want to. It's just very hard. But we always have stories of people who come into Pikmin 2 chats and say like, oh, it makes me so sad when you kill the Pikmin or when the Pikmin die and you don't care about it. Is there like a deathless category? And we always have to say like, well, like there is, but no one really runs it because it makes it prevents you from doing the tutorial skip at the very beginning of the game, for example. So you have to play through the tutorial and it's very boring. And when you've lost 80 minutes of your life on the tutorial after a day of bad runs.
Hey, maybe you lost 18 minutes, but you go out with your spirit intact, not having destroyed something beautiful. You know what?
I appreciate your thought. I just invite you to speedrun the game and see how you feel about it after after
Here's
you've
the
been
thing.
crushed.
It depends on if the Pikmin themselves piss me off. Like, if the
Ah.
Pikmin themselves start pissing me off, then yeah, I'll be like, alright.
Yeah, they will.
Send you 10
They
to
will.
Incinerator. Send you 5 down. But like, I don't see the they're so adorable. And I mean, this is coming from someone who I am, if you don't, because I know me and you only met like an hour ago. I'm I'm a Pokemon student. But
Oh,
like,
you are? Okay.
I have no problem sacrificing Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Well, they're still alive afterwards. They just faint.
right, the Pikmin here, no, they're like dead.
They're dead. They're dead for good.
Like, oh man.
They're
Pikmin's
really dead.
brutal.
very.
Jeez.
So we're seeing, after all this sadness, we're seeing a little bit of progress on both sides. That is done with the White Flower Garden and handled that Snaggerid beautifully and saw that the head is the objective to kill.
Nice.
So very few deaths here. And on the right, CJ is progressing past the area that needed white Pikmin for progression.
Wait, I didn't even think about that. So you said there's multiple of those burrowing snagrets in this one area, right?
Yes.
And CJ only killed the one.
Yes, there's multiple in this area, but the next one to find requires, or, pseudo requires, you can skip it by being a gamer, but requires, for our intents and purposes, blue Pikmin to reach.
Oh, okay.
So the general flow chart of the game is that now CJ is going to collect this globe item, and this globe item is going to let him go to the next area of the game. He killed the second mum of the area, by the way, Chrysanthemum. So this globe will let him go to the next area, Perplexing Pool, and in Perplexing Pool he'll get the yellow Pikmin, and with the yellow Pikmin he'll be able to come back here and get the blue Pikmin. If everything goes well.
On good pace to get blue Pikmin.
We are on pace to get them, but everything becomes harder and harder and harder from here on out. We're done with the baby easy caves. So we're also going to see a lot more, like, probably very large amount of Pikmin deaths into, needing to regrow them into other frustrations like this.
Are those 3 separate treasures worth 100 that Zet just got?
Sorry, I didn't see what treasures.
It showed a screen. It showed 3 items and the number 100 right next to all of them.
Oh yes, that was the what's it called? The end of cave recap screen. So Zed got 3 treasures in this cave in Wildflower Garden, and they just chose the ones that were worth 100, of course.
Yeah, I think they got a 4th treasure that was worth like a smaller amount. Getting 3 100s, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So that's
There's the 2 treasures on Wildflower Garden 2 and the one on Wildflower Garden 5 are worth 100 each.
I genuinely think that in the next, 30 to 40 minutes, I think that's going to take the lead.
That's very possible. That is really not that far
getting,
behind.
If the game's getting harder, like you say it's going to be, I think Zet's method of playing is going to serve him well over Silver.
Yes.
Or over SC.
So, CJ here is carrying this globe back to the ship. The one at hand. Just a little annoying thing for his future is that there is a bridge next to this globe that you have to use Pikmin to unfurl, and it would have unlocked a shortcut back to the beginning area, which would have been very useful. But he kind of ignored it and instead chose to focus his white Pikmin on this gate here, which is going to take a long time to come down. Yeah, that's not ideal. Only 15 Pikmin is just not doing a lot of work on this gate, right? Usually you try to do this one when you have... Well, we never do this one in the speedrun because you can skip it. But, you would usually come here with a spicy spray maybe, or... maybe 30 or 40 whites, and then that goes a lot quicker. But when you only have 15 on there, they're not really producing a lot of value working on their own.
It sounds like there's a lot of skips that could happen. How fast is this?
So just paying off the debt takes, if you're good, it takes an hour and 30 minutes. As in the world record is an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
My time is a 1 hour and 34 minutes for comparison.
Oh, nice.
So, a good player has a sub 140. And if you want to get all of the treasures, then the time it takes is between 3.5 and 4 hours, depending on your level of skill. But it's a game where foreknowledge of the obstacles that you'll face is paramount. Of course, all speedruns are helped enormously by knowing what's going to happen in front of you. But in this game specifically, because if you know what hazards there will be, for example, then you don't need to experience it once to know that you need to bring in like red Pikmin or whatever. You can just go with your whole crew of already prepared colors. And have everything work out perfectly. So Zed is going for the bulb right now.
Looks like Zed's going for it, because I remember you saying that they were going for it.
Yeah. I hope they can just throw the white Pikmin. Yeah, they're being very careful. But only, I think, the first third of... so for the first... Yeah, you see the red Pikmin got on the dig as well. So only the first third of the HP of a buried treasure is only doable by white Pikmin. Afterwards, all Pikmin can contribute. So it's very useful to use more colors. And they're going to save a very significant amount of time here over CJ, who only used white Pikmin for this. I should mention that things like gates and buried treasures, all of that just uses the same damage system as for enemies. So that means that red Pikmin and purple Pikmin actually dig up buried treasure and destroy gates a lot quicker than other Pikmin. Yeah, and we're back to an even score.
And not only that, but I mean, the amount of time, CJ's been the first one to mark off each of these goals, but the amount of time between them marking it off keeps shrinking. Because that is really catching.
Zed is just a little behind here because the main thing separating them is that CJ has collected the globe item, and Zed has not. And this is a required bit of progression at this point. Like the game will not progress further without this globe being finished. And I hope Zed realizes that and goes in the correct direction to get this done. Yes, it seems like this is the case. Will Zed use their spicy spray? No. Okay, so I'll just give that information. You can see on the left on Zed's side there's a D-pad down and then a red potion looking thing, right?
Yes.
So this is a spicy spray. What it does is that when you use it, so it comes from these berries here, these red berries in this area that they're in right now. And if you collect 10 of them, it gives you one of these sprays. And the very nice thing about them is that when you use the spicy spray, it makes your Pikmin move way faster and also multiplies all of their animation speeds by 2. So in essence, it gives you twice the DPS. So it would make this gauge go a lot quicker if that used the spray right now on the white Pikmin.
Well, Zed doesn't seem to be doing that. It looks like Zed's at least multitasking.
Yeah, but there's nothing they can multitask right now. Every bit of progress they could be doing is blocked by poison gates, which require the white Pikmin to be done. So I like the idea that CJ is going with here of going back into the wildflower garden to grow more white Pikmin. That's correctly identifying that these poison gates are going to remain a bottleneck in the future if he doesn't grow more white Pikmin. And so he's choosing to go back in the cave where he got them, hoping to find the same flowers again and be able to grow more. So I think those will still spawn here. Yeah, they stop spawning when you have more than 20 white Pikmin, I believe, and he only has 15, so he gets to do this again and get 30 total. That'll be immensely useful because, of course, it'll make all the treasures carry faster, as we've discussed, and they move fast. And moving fast is helpful in all circumstances. But all of these poison gates will also just go twice as fast because now there's twice as many Pikmin working on them. There we go. Yeah. The gate is done.
Going down. I keep thinking it's their health.
No, Pikmin don't have health. They just instantly die.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's rough.
I don't know how familiar you are with Pokemon, but they're literally Shinja.
Oh, yes, I'm very familiar. Yeah, they don't have Wonder God, though.
No
I wish they did.
Well, it sounds like some of them have some immunities.
Yes. And there's actually a bit of a baked-in system of immunity. Calling it immunity is exaggerating, but when enemies that bite have the option to eat multiple types of Pikmin, they will always go in a certain order based on their color. I believe they always prioritize eating blue Pikmin first, then reds, then yellows, then purples, then whites. I believe that's it. I'm never sure where yellows fit into that.
That's an interesting order, because I would have thought that the first that they go for would be purple, given that purple is the ones that's really good to fight them. But I guess
Yeah, I
that
think-
make it much harder, I guess.
I'm not quite sure if this is an intentional game design element or if it's just that the way they're laid out in memory is just that the blue Pikmin are first, so when the enemy checks to bite, it just checks at the beginning of a list of Pikmin, and the beginning of a list of Pikmin is all blue Pikmin. I'll have to ask about that actually. I don't know that.
I wonder... No, because you said the order went blue, red... Okay. I was thinking in my head for a minute that the order was alphabetical, but it's not.
No.
Purple was like fourth or fifth.
Yes. Okay, so Zed built the bridge. I'm happy about that. That'll make everything easier in the future in this area.
The countdown goes up.
Oh, that's just the end of day countdown. If you don't gather your Pikmin by the time this reaches 0, like this forces end of day essentially, and if you don't gather your Pikmin by the time it reaches 0, then the rest of them just get eaten by the creatures at night. Yeah,
Get them all!
it's okay. I think that was very careful. If this happens at some point to be a problem, it will be on the right screen. CJ has entered Perplexing Pool and is fighting a Wollywog. They're a lot less dangerous than... Oh! A yellow pellet! Ooh, beautiful. So that's the second of the 3 colors. Yeah, so we're in Perplexing Pool now. Perplexing Pool has quite a bit of stuff you can do immediately. There's no... Well, we just skipped it, but there is the cave on the left, right there, is Citadel of Spiders, and you can check on the card. There's a bunch of goals related to Citadel of Spiders. Defeat all enemies on COS4 is row 2, column 1, and the key, COS5, is row 3, column 1. So going into this cave is very worth it for both players.
Not to mention there's row 2, column 3, entering all 4 caves.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I kind of doubt we'll see... I'm absolutely certain we won't see all 4 caves in Perplexing Pool, so I'm choosing not to think.
Well, couldn't you, even if the cave itself is kind of useless, couldn't you just enter the cave and then immediately leave?
You could, but the unlock requirements for the 2 last caves in this area are kind of complicated, so I really don't expect that we'll reach them.
So we're really looking
Okay.
at column 1.
Yeah, for me this is considering that we're almost halfway in. I really don't imagine that we'll see the last 2 caves here.
Okay.
But it could happen. Maybe I'm not giving enough credit, but
Okay. So we're looking at those 2 goals, and then keeping our eye, as always, on 150 reds.
yes,
Looks like
Zed seems poised to get that. Okay, CJ is choosing to rush. Yeah. It's very funny because we definitely get to see there's 2 types of Pikmin players. There's the very careful, slow-paced ones, and there's the ones who like to, just kind of do things. And we're seeing the both of them exactly here.
Yeah, which is
I was
awesome.
definitely... Yeah, it's lovely. I was definitely a player like Zed when I played casually. So I
can
feel
tell
represented.
that if I was playing casually, I would also be.
Yeah.
I would.
But-
One Pikmin death, and I'm devastated. Like, these, you know what? I just realized I need to find a Pikmin plush. Even though I don't play the game, like, I just love the Pikmin so much.
You can fix that. You
Are
can
there?
fix that. You can...
Do you have any experience with the other Pikmin games, like 3 and 4?
No, not at all. I haven't even played 3 and 4 casually in full.
I was just wondering if like they come out with orange Pikmin, because that's my color.
No, orange Pikmin exist in ROM hacks, but not in
That is
not in the actual games.
That is an absolute shame. They should make orange Pikmin. Pikmin 5 introduce orange Pikmin. There we go.
Is orange your favorite color?
Orange is my favorite color. Number 2 will be pink.
That's kind of hype, I think. I never ever hear anyone tell me that orange is their favorite color. So you know what? I respect it on, if nothing else, at least on that basis. But there's also the basis that orange is cool.
Oh, orange is a great color. Way better than yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow sucks.
No! That's mine.
I'm sorry.
I feel betrayed now.
I'm a yellow hater, sorry.
Well, in Pikmin 2, that's very appropriate. Yellow Pikmin are terrible.
Speaking of which, looks like CJ has yellow.
There they are. Yeah.
So what's the deal with yellow Pikmin? Why are they so
What's-
terrible?
What's the deal with airport food? Well, airport food, yellow Pikmin, so their one useful trait is that they are immune to electricity. Which is actually pretty useful because electricity is the only instant kill hazard in this game. You can't whistle your Pikmin to save them. If they're caught in an electric arc, they're just dead.
Okay.
But that being said, you know, we still don't get them in the speedrun, and in the any percent speedrun, and we deal with tons of electricity without the yellows, and most of the time it's fine.
Yeah, I imagine.
What sucks about them? Yeah. What sucks about them is that they have a very high throwing arc, which is meant to reach certain treasures that only them should be able to get. But in actuality, like, you know, like you can skip that almost entirely. And the high throwing arc means that whenever, like, they're just a lot less responsive, right? Whenever you try to use them for anything, you have to account for the fact that their landing is going to be delayed by like half a second compared to what you're used to. And it gets very, very annoying very quickly.
While we were talking about the yellow Pikmin, Zet has pulled ahead, marking the 150 runs.
Yes, that's impressive. Although I
Speed change.
expect that this is a bit of a fake lead because the progress that CJ has as an advantage here is going to be a lot harder to make up for Zet, or it's going to take a longer time to make up for Zet than just the quick growth that CJ has to do to catch up.
Well, like I said, it's our first lead change. Maybe not our only, but
Yeah.
all we can do is see how we keep going. At the very least, that doesn't have to play as cautiously.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Ooh, interesting.
that might be
Look at what Zed is doing. Zed is... Okay, I don't know if Zed is going to be able to execute that plan, but I think what he's trying to do is that he's seeing that the last chrysanthemum is in the back here on that ledge. And he's probably wondering if he can get him to come down here, which he can. That's definitely a thing you can do. But it is a little bit precise. It takes some finagling with the C-stick.
So Zet's already gotten 2 of them?
Yes, this would be his last one. This would make him pull ahead very significantly, I think.
If he can.
Because that... Yeah. What he needs to do to make this work is whistle the Pikmin and then C-stick them forward so that they walk in a line all the way to the chrysanthemum in the back. If you know about that you can do it, it's very easy to do, but I don't know if he's aware.
Oh, he's whistling. He's not whistling.
Yeah, no C-stick though. That's... And he threw them out of his reach now.
Well,
Okay. This is a good idea. Just try that again and just use the big yellow button. No, I think we're giving up on this.
I mean, it's one of those things where you always want to be careful about spending too much time doing something.
Yes,
If it looks
absolutely.
like it's not working, then you're probably better off just giving up than
Yeah.
wasting 10, 15 minutes on something that potentially.
Now he's trying to get there from the other side, but you can't actually do that. The ledge here is too high and Olimar can't climb it. So yeah, that's not going to progress this objective. Meanwhile, CJ is back in Awakening Wood. I wonder why. Is this just for growth? Because there's... I mean, you can... Now that... oh, no, it's to unlock the blue Pikmin, of course. So... It's very interesting to me that he's deciding to forego both of the Citadel of Spider goals. Like, they're right there in the perplexing pool.
Maybe he's just saying, alright, let's get the blue Pikmin and then we'll go for goals.
Yeah, that's possible. Just get as much progress in. It's true that once he'll have all of the Pikmin colors, nothing will gate his progress in this way anymore. But he's got to be careful not to waffle about trying to progress for too long, because at some point he will need to come back and actually collect those goals for them to count, right?
Right, of course. Still, with the time only half over, they have time. And it sounds like if the goal... Defeating all enemies on CMS 4 it might be a little more difficult, but getting the key doesn't take too long.
It's a boss fight, sadly, so that's,
The key?
The key is a treasure that is contained inside of a boss, right? It's one of the upgrade items, so it will involve... It depends on how well the boss fight goes, I suppose, but the boss fight can go badly. It's one of the easier ones in a casual setting, but like, you say that and then the Snagrit eats everyone.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen CJ do boss fights before, and CJ did have a little bit of difficulties with some of them.
Yeah, the track record on survival in boss fights is not the best so far. Well, I really hope that he is careful about this electricity gate, because, as I said earlier, electricity is an instant kill hazard in this game, so... no! All of the Pikmin are trying to latch onto... Yeah, that's annoying. All of the Pikmin are trying to latch onto these objects on the ledge, and so they all came down. That's frustrating.
I'm surprised that there's like a hazard cutscene for poison and fire, but not one for electricity. I guess it's just because electricity is an instant death.
Yeah, it's just instant. Like, you just hear zap, and
still,
usually the number...
doing a cutscene the first time where it, like, literally shows a Pikmin electrocuted and then just kills him dead. It's just like, damn, that's brutal.
There's one red in that group that he threw on the ledge, so I wonder if we'll get to hear a little zap. Oh no, he's saving him! Woo! Red guy survives!
Save all of the Pikmin!
Right, and so this is the area where the blue Pikmin are unlocked. So it really seems like CJ is laser focusing on this blue unlock. But now there's very little anything else for these reds and purples to do. I mean, I guess what you can do is grow some more reds to try and catch up to 150 reds. And this dead downtime here. I don't know how many reds he has. It would be good to check.
It's gotta be good enough. The issue is that
he
also probably has like 10 purple, 20 yellow, 20 white maybe. Yeah. So I mean
135 reds.
135? Okay.
I believe, yeah. If I if I mathed right. That would be embarrassing. Okay. So 15 more. That's definitely a doable quantity.
It's just a matter of when
Yeah. I wonder if Zet is going to choose to go to the Citadel of Spiders. I hope yes. Oh, but fighting the boss of the Citadel of Spiders without yellow Pikmin is a bit of a speedrun-minded thing, actually. I forgot about that. Because we fight it in a somewhat unintended way, so...
Does the boss have used electricity somehow?
No, it's actually its main body is just very high up in the air, and so it's out of the reach of other Pikmin colors normally. Exactly. But of course, if you do it right, you can just throw purple Pikmin at it in a precise manner and just watch its health bar melt. Bosses in this game are very amusing because when you watch them being played casually, it's very common for catastrophes like what happened to CJ to happen. But in the speedrun, it's a miracle if a boss manages to kill more than 3 Pikmin.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they just have very... You can get very good at fighting them, is what I'm trying to communicate.
Sounds it.
So the area CJ is going to go up to here after this little scale puzzle section has a 100 value treasure. Oh, we threw too many, so now we have to do all of this again. Okay. No, you have to keep 1! Okay, okay. That worked. And there we go. Oh, where are we going? Yes, this dice here is worth... Yes, okay. Good job. Exactly, that's worth 100.
You know, I wish we had kept track ourselves of how many hundreds they have.
They can't have that many because they've not been in that many caves.
I know Zed has at least 3.
There's the 3 in Wildflower Garden. I believe there's 1 in the Hole of Bees, so that's 4. There's 1 in the Emergence Cave, so 5, and with this one, that is 6. I don't think they got any overworld treasures worth 100 since. So we're at 6 through 12. I believe, anyway. Yeah, I was a little worried about that with the 100 value treasures, that there's quite a few of them. But, you know, 12 is a lot. Like, if you think about it in terms of how many treasures you need to average per, like, hour to get 12, like, it's 4 100 treasures per hour is not that simple.
Real quick, one of the helpers actually asked me something. The 5 pellets, there's only red, yellow, blue, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's yeah, for CJ. There's a 5 pellet in the blue area. Yeah, that's that is indeed a goal clicked, row 1, column 5.
Alright, tied it back up.
Interesting that we're seeing some divergence here at this point. I think the slightly annoying thing about Pikmin 2 as a bingo game is that, you know, up until you finished Wildflower Garden, there's not really that many opportunities to do different things. Like, you will frequently see just people doing the same beginning, because there's just the game is just not that open yet. And now it's significantly
More open.
increases the range of options you have at your disposal.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the routes diverge for good here and never converge again.
Okay. Yeah, because CJ rushed blue. Does that even have yellow yet?
No, no.
Yeah, so...
I hope Zed goes into the Citadel of Spiders with some white Pikmin, because there is a treasure in the 5th sublevel of the Citadel of Spiders that is necessary for row 1, column 1, the Regal Diamond.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Wow, so that column 1 really is all Citadel of... What is it, Citadel of Spiders?
Yeah. It's just a completely spidery, you know,
Fun.
column. The average number of spiders per column is actually 0.2, but it's all because of this specific outlier spider column. Okay, so it seems like Zed is choosing to also go the yellow Pikmin route here, so we are actually seeing some degree of convergence again.
We'll see if he ends up getting 3 yellows.
Yeah, I wonder about that.
Zet not being as knowledgeable might just say, oh, well, that's a goal CJ then, therefore it's a goal I can get.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
It's not a terrible thing.
It's just a little... You don't want to spread yourself too thin either, right? So... We're having trouble with the scale puzzle. It's definitely extremely annoying. Yeah, because the purples weigh 10, so you have to throw so many of them for... Yeah, just throw all of them. That's fair. That's fine. Okay, I'm curious what CJ is going to pivot to now, because the game opens up significantly with the blue Pikmin. He can choose to do pretty much whatever he wants in Perplexing. I would say this is where I would go personally, because there's just 2 treasures that are so easily accessible. Sorry, two goals and part of progress on a 3rd one.
Actually,
but you know,
even row 1, column 3, that's some of those spiders too.
Row 1, column 3.
King of
Yes, you're right, King of Sweets. But Diet Doomer and Pale Passion are in Submerged Castle, which is a very... This is not a cave that you will get to see, most likely, I expect. So... we could see it if... It's not that far out of the way anymore for CJ in particular, who has the blue Pikmin already. But it would require committing to it significantly.
I mean,
it
might
be...
not be a bad idea. I mean, there's the goal of just clearing it.
There is that, yeah, that would be... The thing is also... Have you ever heard of the water wraith?
Is that the thing that causes the water hazard?
No, so... The Submerged Castle has a gimmick where if you spend 5 minutes... By the way, burgeoning spider word on the left. This is the thing that they're meant to destroy for row 2, column 2. Yeah. I was just gonna say that the Submerged Castle has a gimmick where if you spend 5 minutes on any of the floors, then an unkillable enemy shows up and he chases after you like... you know, horror game style throughout the cave. And for that reason, if you take more than 5 minutes to do the floors, which is very easy because it's a hard cave, then you know you run a risk of losing enormous amounts of Pikmin. It's a very reviled cave casually for that reason. So I'm a little scared for what would happen if we had to see this today. But also a little excited. That would be very fun.
Alright. Well, I know it doesn't feel like it, but it's been about an hour since we checked in there.
Oh, we can certainly ask him what their goals are now.
I'm very curious, like you said, now that it's opened up a bit. It'll be interesting to see what each of them are thinking.
Yeah, I agree. I really want to hear.
Let me actually check in with Zet this time.
Sure.
See how Zet's feeling now that Zet actually has the lead.
Hello again.
Hi.
Hello.
Do you have any orphan Pikmins there right behind me?
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. So
What's up?
over the last hour,
Is
you
it-
guys have taken the lead.
Somehow.
I have no idea how, but okay. So let's do the separation thing. I am like in complete tunnel mode. It feels like it has been 50 minutes the last time you...
Yeah.
I'm hyper focus is like kicking bad right now.
Can you tell us what your goal is right now? What you're trying to achieve?
So right now, one of the things we want to get is the yellow Pikmin. I know there's quite a few things that can be obtained in this area. Like there's a lot of goals involving the caves in this area.
Yeah.
Like I know there's the one with just entering the caves, which I think some of them are blocked by, like I think there's one that's blocked behind an electric fence. I think.
Yes, you are right.
So I think that's why we would need the yellow Pikmin for that anyway. Then Citadel of Spiders has got quite a few goals in there.
Yes.
So I know that's one thing to do. So just to explain some of the stuff that happened earlier when we were in the Awakening Woods, I didn't realize that some of the later areas that we wanted to go to required the blue Pikmin. I completely forgot that.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a burrowing snackret at that area, as well as the final, and as I will say with my very nice pronunciation, the creeping chrysanthemum. I think that's where the third one is. And
You're
so
right on both fronts.
And so I wanted to go there just to check off those 2 goals. But the problem is that I completely forgot that going there required the blue Pikmin. And so the bit that you saw is that throwing Pikmin over the edge, that I was hoping that maybe throwing a Pikmin over the edge might get the chrysanthemum to pop out. But
No, don't kill my Pikmin!
Uh-oh.
So you're correct, actually, Pika. If you do what you did there, but then also whistle the Pikmin and use the C-stick to push them forward deeper onto the ledge, then they can wake up the chrysanthemum, and you can get it to fall down and kill it from the bottom. So that is a viable thing that you can do. It is maybe a little bit difficult though, because it requires to whistle and then C-stick quickly, so that they don't fall back down the ledge.
Okay, I see. That makes sense. I mean, next time we'll go there, it will probably be... That's a good strat to have in mind. But I mean, by the time we go back to the Awakening Woods, we'll probably have the yellow Pikmin by then. And so we can get to the blue Pikmin at that point. I'm just thinking, and then once we get those types of Pikmin, and there's things like getting the palette of each color that we can probably get. And then, then we can rush through the cave-related goals in that region. Like, once we get all the types of Pikmin, it opens up a lot of the game, really, because even the first region, there's some more stuff that could be done there as well, I think.
For sure.
So, I mean, there's quite a lot that can be done. I don't know... How much time have we got left, actually?
An hour and 20 minutes.
45 in, so then an hour 15.
Okay. So, we'll see how much we can clear in that time, but
Alrighty.
I think... I feel it's gonna be quite a tight match.
What? What happened there? Louis is down? What do they mean?
Oh, the small enemies, like these little guys, the captains don't run away from them, so Louis just stood there and got mauled.
Okay.
It's okay. You're at the end of the day anyway, so...
How do I activate the...
I have no idea what's going on because I don't see the streams. I'm like, oh no, poor Zats.
It's like I'm, yeah.
Why don't I'll let you two get back to it so that we can recover. Sound good? Alright, you're doing awesome though, Zach. Keep it up, okay?
Thank you.
Well,
we'll try.
We'll see how much longer.
Yeah.
I'm in panic mode right now. Have a good one.
Don't panic. Don't panic. You're doing great.
Too late. Too late.
Alright.
Thank you.
Alrighty then.
Right. While we were talking, destroy a burgeoning spiderwort mold was clicked by CJ.
Yeah, so CJ actually has pulled ahead again. So,
Let's reconvene, ask what he's doing, what the plan is.
Yeah, I'm just double checking that that's all good, because it sounded like things
the panic.
down for Zet. So I just want to make sure that he's all good before we grab CJ.
Sure. That's it.
Looks like Zet's
Okay, CJ is moving towards. Oh, this is gonna kill so many Pikmin. Don't do that. Don't fight the guy right now. Okay. That is moving towards the Snagret Hole, which is, you might have guessed from the name, but the Snagret Hole contains Snagrets. So we're probably gonna see him click the third mum and the second Snagret goals very quickly now.
Is that CJ you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, well let's go ahead. We'll check in with CJ now and they can confirm if that's what's happening.
Hello.
Oh.
Surprise.
Ah.
Sorry, my Pikmin are being complete and absolute idiots.
Yeah, we're seeing. So what's cooking? what's your current game plan? We saw that you
we're
rushed.
going for the last chrysanthemum here in the woods.
Yeah.
Sounds like a solid plan.
And that's I think that's about it right now. I don't know what Prozac also has cooked up on the back burner right
There's
now.
also a another 100 Poco treasure that we're looking for in this area.
Oh yes.
Sounds good.
The air brake.
It's funny because when we talked with you last time, you were in the lead, and then you lost the lead for quite a bit, but now you're back in the lead. So.
Oh, it was never a. We didn't really. Oh shoot! Another snag grit. Kill it quick.
I'm working
Did you not
on it.
know? Did you not know it was there?
Nope. I didn't.
That's so
I know
you just
nothing about this
get
game.
another. You'd just get another goal for free.
Hey, sometimes. it
Yeah,
does
let's
that.
call it synergy.
Yeah,
Well, I
it's
guess
very
that means we
good.
don't have to do snag grit. Oh.
Completely planned.
Just as
I
they
believe
planned.
clear snag rate hole 6 is in row 5, column 1. So there's still a
It
reason
is.
potentially to go
Damn,
to
you
there.
did that good, CJs. I just mark that real quick.
Very nice. Good job.
Nice job.
Don't forget the mum.
Now I need to mash through some text, and then probably
Oh.
just destroy this gate real quick.
I
Well,
wanted
no,
to
please
ask
don't
while
take
we
that
were
to
here.
Mm-hmm.
What water hazard? How do you get that cutscene?
So one of the ways you can get it is actually in snag rate hole. There is an enemy called the watery blowhog, which sprays water on your Pikmin, and that is what activates the water cutscene hazard. And the most easily available watery blowhog for you right now is in snag rate hole on the 4th sublevel. So if you go into snag rate hole now- Yeah, you have potential there. Don't forget your credential.
No, I'm going to get more combat-oriented Pikmin for this.
Wise
Pick up the-
decision.
The ones who have decided to use their autonomy to abandon me.
You're doing great.
So you feeling confident in yourself, CJ? You feel like you're gonna pull out the win?
This is definitely going smoother than I expected it to overall, I think.
Well, that's good. You always
person,
want
should
things to
we-
go better than you expect.
Somewhere here.
My experience doing blind bingos is usually the opposite. Things go worse than I expect.
There you go. You found it.
Hey! Shout out to Boo, by the way, for handing me as many links as he possibly could immediately before the match, so I could be a useful second.
There you go.
So we'll see defeating all 3 creeping chrysanthemums in AW is gonna get clicked. Row 4, column 3 goes to CJ. Very nice. It seems like you've got things under control. You don't need too much support.
At least not for us.
I'm just
Not
gonna
from
let
us.
the Pikmin use their autonomy and decide where to take these things now.
Alright, any last thoughts so far, CJ?
Not really. I'm just going for it now. I feel like
Yeah, that's admirable. You're doing very
I'm
good.
definitely approaching the point where I'm outside of what I have done before, so that's the most interesting part of this at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
Alrighty then. Well, we'll let you guys get back to it.
We'll let you
Good luck with the rest of this.
Yeah, thank you for
Thank
the little interview. Have fun. Okay.
Alright.
Well, CJ is really. That's a lot of goals now that they have on their eyes on, right? Because if we think of what they have very quickly accessible right now, so you can actually see a very large amount of goals for them. Clear SH6 in row 5, column 1 is very easy to do from if they enter snag rate hole. Then row 5, column 2 is an unreadable mess of text, but it's basically just 3 treasures on snag rate hole 1, 4, and 5. And there's also the 3 hazard cutscenes. All of this is just in reach, all 3 of these goals, if they go into snag rate hole right now. And then they still have the 2 Citadel of Spiders goal in row 2, column 1, and row 3, column 1, that are also very easily accessible. So I could see them just snapping like 5 goals in the next 30 minutes or 20 minutes.
Well, at the same time, though, Zet is getting closer and closer to being in a position to really start getting these goals that CJ has. So.
Yeah, exactly. Zed is going to unlock the blue Pikmin probably very, very soon. Oh, but it seems that their squad is not really... I can't see how many yellows there are in there. Everyone is so small. Yeah, you need quite a few yellows in order to unlock the white Pikmin. Ooh, careful here. There's a lot of water nearby. I think in the end we're seeing a very good, effective, strategy from both players. That slower approach has definitely given him, just in general, a lot more resources to work with. The sprays, although he hasn't used any of them yet, more Pikmin, while CJ has just more general game progression that will allow him to, like he has Snagrid Hole on lock right now. Like he can go there and do everything in there in very short order. Well, this is still like maybe 15 to 20 minutes in the future for Zed.
Still, all it takes is CJ getting a little too comfortable and making a big mistake.
Yes. Just a big catastrophe is never far in this game.
That's the thing. CJ might be taking more risk than Zed. The question is when is it too
Yes.
much? So far, CJ's actually largely stayed up.
I think that is partially because the game has stayed largely nice so far.
And so if the game gets as difficult as you've been saying it will.
Yeah, it will. The question is, will it get sufficiently difficult, sufficiently quickly to punish CJ for playing a little bit recklessly? That's very interesting. I think, in my mind, the first very difficult, the first genuinely difficult sub-level you have to play is the fourth sub-level of Snagrid Hole, in their order of doing things, because that's where there'll be boulders, there'll be electricity, and the watery blowhogs on top of that. It's very easy to get completely submerged in the quantity of enemies and things that you need to keep in mind, and just lose your entire squad to it. Even in speedruns, when we know exactly what enemies are, what enemies are on the floor, we don't know where they are because that's randomly generated, but we have a lot of the information and we still frequently just zap a large amount of Pikmin. Because it's just not that easy to control your squad intelligently and in a way that lets you survive. A little bit of waffling from Zed here. We're struggling to separate our Pikmin in a way that will let the yellows just go on the wall nicely. Seems like they've got their stuff under control now, though. They really need to get that wall started as soon as they can, because the blues are gating so much good progress in Snagrid Hole that CJ is going to get access to. And they're also gating a lot of progress in Perplexing Pool. With Pool in the name, you might expect that Pikmin that don't die when they're submerged in water will be crucial. Okay. I think that is also maybe falling prey a very tiny bit to... It's a very difficult thing not to do when you play a Pikmin game for the first time, but to the very large overgrowth conundrum. I think I've seen a lot of time spent growing new Pikmin from them, and CJ has kind of done that too. 278 is a lot of Pikmin. But the thing is, you can only ever take 100 out on the field. So if you want to think of it that way, you can think that every Pikmin that you grow above 100 is not directly helping you and comes at a pretty steep opportunity cost. So it's better to, it's not necessarily a good idea to go extremely far above 100, is what I'm going to say. Of course, there is 150 Pikmin of a single color, or 150 red, on this card, so that needs to happen, but, And here, Zed is really, amusingly, right after I said that, Zed is really being gated by not having enough Pikmin. Because all of these Pikmin that Zed has, a very large majority of them are red Pikmin, and not yellow Pikmin. And so only a handful of yellows are working on this gate, and they're just taking a long time to make anything happen. And this is just time where, you know, there's nothing else open in the area for them to do. It's just a very difficult situation they find themselves in when you have a lot of Pikmin but not of the correct color. And it's like, oh, well, now what do I do? CJ with a little bit of a... See, this is slightly what I said. A little bit of a difficult time here on Snaggered Hole 1. So the precise difficulty was that these orange Bulborbs, they wake up very quickly. Normally Bulborbs just sleep for a billion years while you get close to them and line up your shots to destroy them. But not orange Bulborbs. They are very twitchy and they wake up very quickly when you approach them. So that took CJ by surprise, and he lost a lot of Pikmin. 9, I think, on this fight. Olimar also took a large chunk of damage. You can see the captain health in the bottom left, and you can see that Olimar is only at 1/3 of his HP remaining. There's a very real chance that Olimar dies inside this cave, which, you know, it's fine because the game saves in between every sub-level anyway. So a reset will prevent problems. But, you know, that it would be a lot of time lost to having to reset over Olimar's death.
Yeah, dying doesn't sound smart.
Not quite.
Weird. Well, we're at the 2-hour mark. 1 hour to go.
Yeah.
Honestly, kind of hard to say. I think if you had to take a guess right now, CJ certainly has a lead. I don't think it's certainly over for Zed. I think Zed definitely has a chance here, but I think Zed definitely needs CJ to win.
Yes, I was going to say, you know, as the commentator, you're supposed to say usually, well, you know, there's still anyone's game, etc. I think CJ has a very significant advantage. The game progress really has come through for him, and it is still very possible and realistic for Zed to win. But I think at this point, Zed needs not just to play well and intelligently and route properly, but also, you know, unforced mistakes from CJ, which...
We haven't seen big comebacks before in the Black Bears, so
That's exciting.
it wouldn't be the first time something like that happened. They're definitely not too often. But I mean, the fact of the matter is that CJ got... The 3 goals that CJ has that Zed doesn't have, CJ got very quickly together, and there's no reason Zed can't do the same.
Absolutely. Like, I think Zed probably has collected a pellet. Has he collected the 5 pellets?
I don't know if he's gotten the blue yet, did he?
I think it is in the area that he is currently in, so I'm just unsure. I wasn't paying quite so much attention as I should have. I didn't see if he collected it. But I think he did. So for me, I think you're right that like this goal progress is actually not that many goals when you consider that the chrysanthemums and the snagrets are just, you know, right next to each other. But the unlocking the snagret hole is still going to take a little bit of time.
Well, I could see Zed instead of going for the snagret hole, going just for the Cinnamon Spiders.
That's also very reasonable. Yeah, I think it might be a good idea to check with with the chat or in the clips or something if the 5 pellet was collected, because I'm pretty sure the blue 5 pellet was collected on Zed's end. I guess we'll see when we look at how many blue Pikmin they have, because if they have like 10, then it's very likely that they collected the blue 5 pellet. Oh, I wonder if the yellow 5 pellet... No, the yellow 5 pellet is the one they don't have. I'm dumb. They tried to collect it at the end of day 6 when they got the yellows for the first time, but it didn't make it in time to the onion. Because they sent it to the red onion.
Not yellow.
Okay, so CJ is laser focusing on the important sublevels here in SH. There was no reason to waste any time in SH2 and Snag Right Hole 2 and Snag Right Hole 3. There's just no goals here. No 100 value treasures, absolutely nothing of value.
Hole 4 is where you said things get tricky.
I think this could be very tricky, yeah. You can see that there's electricity here. If CJ plays very slow, then this can be fine. Yes, with a good dismiss, this is how I would recommend newer players do as well. Just go divide and conquer, go slowly through the sublevels, take out one obstacle at a time. Don't try to be a hero. But considering how CJ has been playing so far, I think some heroics might be in order anyway. And if they are, then there's a risk of just losing 20 Pikmin to a boulder or something. This is very much more tricky to play well than what we've seen so far. An added scary aspect, I suppose, is that CJ needs blue Pikmin to be able to clear SH6. So CJ cannot afford to have too many deaths of blue Pikmin specifically. Okay, that was pretty well played. That beetle did not kill any Pikmin. That was a very large source of potential problems. Here's the water cutscene. There you go. That glit's clicked now. Terrifying situation here when all of these Pikmin are just running around, all screaming at you that they're about to die, and you need to do something quickly. Yeah, 5 deaths.
I might have missed it. Did CJ get the crystallized telekinesis?
Yep.
Okay. So then on this floor, they want the crystallized.
Yeah, it's the marble at the back of the screen there.
Okay.
Good idea, very good idea. So CJ recognizes that the watery blowhog uses water to attack, and so kills it with the blue Pikmin. If you are at the next level of gameplay, what you could do is just go put the blue Pikmin themselves on the marble, because then they'll walk back home, and the blowhog might shoot at them, but they won't be affected at all by that shot. So you just get to skip that bit of combat entirely.
And then Zed's looking around. He sees a 1. He sees a 10.
Yep. So what CJ should do here is zoom the camera in, because when the camera is zoomed in this game, enemies that are off screen are deactivated and they do not move or shoot at you or act in any way. Most of them, at least. And that is, that is very useful for us in speedruns. A very large amount of the speedrunning meta is to just not look at enemies and have the game knowledge that they just won't bother you because they're sufficiently far off screen.
Here's a quick question that one of the helpers asked me. Can you leave a cave midway and keep all of the collected treasure, at least as far as goals completed?
That's a good question. I think that's a little bit up to how Bingothon wants to do it, to be honest.
Does the game count that? When does the game count the treasure as collected?
If you exit a cave in the middle, I believe it throws away all of the treasure you collected. So you will... Yeah, I would agree with that. You need to exit a cave through a geyser in order... usually the one on the last sublevel, for the game to recognize that, yeah, you did good, you collected the stuff. This sublevel for CJ has some value again, because this last of the crystallized thingies is here. There's telepathy, telekinesis, and clairvoyance. And this one is the blue one inside one of these small dwarf bulborbs. So usually we have some ability to tell where treasures will be placed in the sublevel, because the game has an algorithm it follows to place them, and it tries to place them far away from spawn and in areas where there are lots of enemies. With very complicated detail if you get into it, but we don't really need to know more about it than that. But here, this is actually this is one of those spots where it doesn't apply, because the treasures that are in enemies just get randomly assigned at some point on the map. So there's 5 of these little dwarf bulbs that will spawn on the map, and he has to kill them and check which one of them has the treasure in it. And it's just a 20% chance for any of them to possess it. So what he could do is punch them out with the captain. The captain's throw animation, when you don't have any Pikmin nearby, does a little punch instead. And that damages enemies, and it can kill them. It takes a little bit of time, but it can kill them. Or he can come back with his squad and do this instead. Zed, meanwhile, is growing some more yellow Pikmin. I don't think they got a... what's it called? I don't think they got a 5 pellet still of the yellow color. So that kind of sucks. They also have some yellow Pikmin working on unlocking the Glutton's Kitchen Cave behind that electric gate that we saw a little bit earlier. But that's going to take a very long time because they only have 4 Pikmin working there. They really, really need more manpower to make this work. Okay, will this guy have the treasure? Yes, okay, perfect. So this, as soon as this is collected, this will be another goal clicked for the CJ team. So that will be row 2, column 5. Sorry, row 5, column 2.
Well, it seems like CJ's doing a really solid job.
Yes.
So maybe CJ realized, oh, this is going to be a little more tricky. Let's dial it back a little bit.
Exactly, yeah.
Play things, still fast, but, not stupid fast.
Exactly. It was just generally a lot more careful. But that's very clever. Like, this is how you have to play these sublevels. If you're not very confident in your ability to play fast, then you have to play slow.
It's going really solid.
Yeah.
Let's see how sublevel 6 goes. You said there was a boss, right?
There's multiple burrowing snagrits on this sublevel, and there's a lot of poison, and there's a guy who drops from the ceiling and whistles your Pikmin and makes them follow him instead. There's 4 different treasures on this sublevel. Clearing it just always takes a long time, and there's a bunch of treasures that are over the water, so that you need blue Pikmin to get them. So
A lot of purple.
yeah, that is scary. Thankfully, combat on this sublevel specifically doesn't really benefit that much from purples, because they're not that good against snagrits. They're good because they do a lot of damage, but they're not like as good as they are in other settings. Yeah, that is really constantly, or on multiple occasions, finding themselves in this situation where they're just waiting for things to happen, and they're just completely blocked from progressing, right? And I think they could make an effort to find other things for their Pikmin to do, because for example, they have all of these blue Pikmin with them, and there's a gate in the water just on their left right now. And all that time that they spent just waiting for this gate to go down, they could have made their blue Pikmin work on this other gate just nearby, and multitasked, much more efficiently in that way. It's very difficult to do that, though. Like, it sounds like I'm
Does clear the floor mean make it to the next floor, or fight them?
No, I believe it means collect every single treasure on the floor. You know when you've collected every treasure. Yeah, I'm seeing them near the hole, and I wish it was just entering the hole, but no, that's not clearing. That's just running. You have to face your problems head on. Even this terrifying sub-level. This definitely is going to take a while. There's a lot of stuff to do on this sub-level. 4 treasures. That's the maximum amount of treasures there ever is on the sub-level in this game. Very few sub-levels have 4 treasures. Meanwhile, Zed is into Glutton's Kitchen. So what is there in Glutton's Kitchen here? Let's take a look back at our card. Not that much, actually.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've seen GK. I guess bottom right corner.
Yes, that is. I mean, there's some 100 Poco treasures, so you can do that, I guess.
Maybe that's okay.
But I kind of doubt it will get clicked at this point because we're on 6 or something, and 12 is a lot, and there's only like 50 minutes left. So make a golden candy pop bud wilt is the most accessible next thing.
Okay.
So we just need to rush down to GK3 and then use that golden candy pop bud, and not waffle about here on this sub level where there is nothing. So one very nice mechanic about this game, these blue candy pop buds here, they produce blue Pikmin, right? When you throw other Pikmin in them. But if you throw like a red Pikmin, if you throw a blue Pikmin in the blue candy pop bud, it doesn't count for 1, right? Like if this flower produces, I think 10 Pikmin, 5 Pikmin, I don't remember, then the blue will not, reduce that quantity by 1. Okay, I see what Zed is doing. Zed is interested in this treasure here that the bread bug is trying to steal because it is worth 100 Pocos. I think this is maybe a little bit of tunnel vision, because I really am not so sure that the 100 Poco treasure goal is going to be clicked by anyone on this card.
Unless they have more than we realize.
I'm counting, but like, it's just... They're just spread around a little too much, I think. I don't think this should be their 7th, I believe, which is pretty good, but 5 is still a lot of treasures to make up. There's one other on sub-level 3, there's one on sub-level 5, so that's, 2 more. It's doable. There's also some in Citadel of Spiders. I think when you think about the time invested compared to what you get back from it, is just not a very efficient goal, I guess. Salivatrix collected on the right side. That's still not everything. We will know when every treasure has been collected by CJ, when the little arrow needle that's going a little haywire right now drops dead and turns gray. Yeah, there's just a lot to do in this sub-level. And a lot needs blue Pikmin, so I really, really hope that there's no catastrophe with these blues, because a lot of blue deaths at once could very easily ruin this for CJ and force him to do everything all over again. And that is row 5, column 5 clicked for Zet. The golden candy pop build has wilted.
Yay! That has a goal.
So now Zed is in an annoying situation because to keep that 100 value treasure that they collected earlier, they need to go deeper in the cave. But going deeper in the cave doesn't necessarily have that much interesting stuff for them. I mean, there's, as we mentioned, there's the possibility of other 100 value treasures here, but this is a very treacherous cave. And I don't know how comfortable they'll be playing around all of this electricity. These little anode beetles here, they link up together and create a stream of electricity between them that, instantly kills all Pikmin but the yellows. And they're very scary to play around. This compass treasure here is the one that is worth 100 Pokos. But it's very far from spawn again, so it will take a very long time to go back. And Zed doesn't have any white Pikmin to make it go faster. I also noticed that Zed doesn't have any purple Pikmin, which is kind of scary because the next sublevel has a roaming spotted bullbear. Those are some scary enemies, and I fighting that without purples is oof. I don't want to do that. But the bullbear does have inside of him a treasure that is worth 100. So you know.
CJ going
Maybe.
beyond fighting a third behind.
Yeah. There's two on this sublevel actually. So one of them has a treasure. So if CJ gets unlucky here, then he'll have to fight a fourth one. Yeah, there it is. And a lot of blue Pikmin are dying, which is really bad because blue Pikmin are needed to carry all of these treasures past the water puddles here. So CJ really needs to be careful with his blue Pikmin. Maybe put them out of the way so that they don't get eaten. Because if he can't carry the lens treasure anymore, then that's over.
We're about to see some red Pikmin get fried here.
Yeah, there you go. The lens went into the water, so now all of the Pikmin who aren't blue are drowning. Thankfully, CJ got pretty lucky, and he killed the correct snag rate on the first go, so he doesn't have to fight another one. That would have been very scary for his blue Pikmin. But now he just needs to carry all of these treasures past the water. It does seem like Zed is trying to do the 100 Poco treasure play, because this compass is worth 100 Pokos. No fried reds. Shame. And thankfully, the game is pretty nice and gives you 2 opportunities to grow 5 blue Pikmin in this sublevel. So even though CJ lost a bunch of blues to this combat, he's okay. Like 17 is definitely enough to carry all of the treasures across the water. It's just going to take a while, because they're going to be moving very slow. Oh, I wonder if he has collected the other 2 treasures, or if we're still missing one of them. We'll see. I know Salivatrix was collected, but I wonder about... There's a one last treasure in this cave, or in this sublevel, which is like a little 4-leaf clover. It's pretty hard to see if you don't know that you're looking for it. Sublevel 4 on Zed's side, I suggest we look at this because there's going to be some exciting action going on with the bullbear. He's going to come out from nowhere and attack, and it's going to be exciting.
When you say come out of nowhere, is it going to come out of the ground or just...
I just mean that, like, so the spotted bullbear is one of a few rare enemy types in this game that are said to be... Oh, there he is. He's roaming, which means he's constantly loaded and activated and moving around the stage. So it's very... He moves very quickly. So as you're playing, you need to be extremely careful. Yeah, that's a decent idea. It's not always a good plan to do this, because if you leave the Pikmin behind and the bullbear finds them before you find the bullbear, they will just all die. Like, they have no chance at fighting him. Yeah, he's trying. Just without purples, this is so difficult, and without bitter sprays. the purple berries that he collected in the overworld give you a little potion effect that turns enemies to stone for a second or two, or like more so for like 5 seconds, and it allows you to kill this kind of enemy like without too much of a hassle. But right now, no purples, no sprays is extremely difficult to do that kind of combat without deaths. So I'm expecting like maybe 20 deaths here, something crazy. Yeah. And the bull bear has a mouth that can fit 5 Pikmin inside at a time, so... Yeah, 17, but the small guys are still alive, and they're eating. Oh no, the bread bug is stealing the treasure! That's so unlucky! Oh my god. Oh, poor Zed. Yes, so the whole reason they were fighting this bull bear is because the bull bear has a treasure inside him worth 100, right? This little lid. And what happened there is that this small bread guy that looks like a loaf steals treasures from the player.
Oh, wow.
And it just so happened that a bread guy was right next to the treasure as the bull bear died, and so it instantly stole it and took it away.
That is unfortunate. Oh, it looks like Zed's actually resetting it.
Yeah, that's very worth a reset. With this few Pikmin, I mean, like, the rest of the cave is not going to go well.
That's the first time we've seen either of them actually do a reset, huh?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to reset when anything bad happens in this game, because it's very quick, and it just gives you a new sub-level to play.
Yep.
If you can ask, a thing I'm very curious about is why row 5 column 2 hasn't been clicked by CJ. Is it because... Oh, I guess is it because of your conversation earlier where...
Probably that. They're waiting to
okay.
get out.
That makes sense. But then that's also probably the case for the 6th sub-level. But yeah, okay, that makes sense. So here, this boss is a 100 value treasure for CJ, so, you know, he can invest in this. But this is a pretty hard boss, and CJ has not shown us the finest of combats against Snagrits. So I think it's probably just a better idea to leave right now and, you know, use that time to go into the Citadel of Spiders and make sure that you get those treasures. I wonder if that's what he's going to choose to do. That looks like, yeah. Yes, I completely agree with this. Very good decision. And so we'll probably see...
Yep,
yeah, there we go. Okay, exactly. Row 5, column 2 is... And it looks like Zed decided to forego the 100 value treasure on the last sub-level. I also think this is a clever decision. The bull bear combat is just... There's a saying in the Pikmin 2 community that purple Pikmin are broken and they trivialize combat and things like this. And then it turns out if you ever try to play this game without using purple Pikmin, it is impossible to fight any enemy properly, or most enemies properly, without purple Pikmin. And that bull bear is definitely one of them. So I agree that it's not worth messing with it. It's just gonna result in heartbreak and time loss. CJ is going for this 100 value treasure here, I'm guessing. Oh, no, we're going... Yeah, okay. There's a 100 value treasure after like a little puzzle here, but it's a very annoying puzzle. I don't think I remember how to do it casually. Yeah. It's so much easier to... Yeah. It takes only the most brilliant minds of our generation can achieve this.
I don't want to hear about doing difficult puzzles in Blind Bingo. I think the last Blind Bingo I did was this, so...
Oh, that sounds hard.
It was not easy.
I can believe you.
Actually, now that I think about it... Oh. Who was I against? It might have been CJ.
Did CJ win?
I know I lost. I
No.
think I lost by like 1 goal. My personal record in blind bingo is actually pretty shit. So
I'm sure it's
I
just
think
because...
in 4 blind
Bad
bingos
luck.
I've done, I've lost 3 and won 1.
Yeah, that's...
Because I know
I think
lost,
you're
I lost Myst, I lost Luigi's Mansion, I lost Super Metroid. By... What was the one that
Was it Super Mario Sunshine?
No,
No.
Sunshine wouldn't even necessarily be a blind bingo.
Oh, I see.
But I'll figure it out. I can look at it.
Yeah, all of those yellows are dead.
Oh,
No.
it was Terraria. Terraria was.
Oh, Terraria bingo. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, that was the one I won.
Set with another... This last sublevel of GK is really hard to play. And they don't really have the Pikmin numbers to be messing around in it too easily. You would need a bunch more yellows to do it very safely. So this is kind of... I don't know. I think this is a reasonable skip as well. It's just very unlucky that they saw that Glutton's Kitchen was had a lot of value in it, which is reasonable. Lots of 100 value treasures in particular. But then it also turns out that it's the most annoying cave to play in the game. Okay, I lied. I guess this puzzle is actually very easy. I forgot. It's just, yeah. I think this is 15 weight? Yeah, this is 15, so...
Oh no.
Those 2 guys fell off, so CJ is gonna need to redo this.
Oh, if only all of us stayed up there, it wouldn't have been terrible.
Yeah, that was a clever solution, to just throw the blues up there without redoing the whole scales puzzle, but that did not quite work.
Zed is struggling over here.
Yeah, this is a terrible floor. Okay, 100 value treasures secured. Yeah, but you can't go back up there without going on the bridge. I think we're probably not gonna see many more goals being clicked from now on. I would say that it's in both players' best move would probably be to go to the Citadel of Spiders now and just make sure that they get that.
I think for Zed especially, maybe just giving up on the Citadel.
Yeah, I think that's a preferable idea. I hope that they don't get tunnel visioned on the other 100 value treasures that there is on this sublevel, because there is a second one inside the boss. But killing the boss will take, I don't know, 5 minutes. Perfect opportunity for CJ here to flower some Pikmin while waiting for the treasure to come in. Yeah, it does look like Zed wants to kill this boss, but That guy is immune to attacks from all guys but purple Pikmin. Okay, it looks like Zed is just going to get out of this hellhole.
Smart.
I think that's the better idea, yeah. The one treasure is not worth this.
Yeah. So the
I'm very curious.
What the
Sorry.
cave that Zet just did was one of the ones in Perplexing Pool.
Yes.
So how hard would it be for Zet to enter the other ones? It's not complete.
It would be annoying because there's a couple of issues. So one of them, the Citadel of Spiders, is very easy to enter, but the other two are both behind gates. One of them is behind a water gate that has an enormous amount of health, and right now Zed only has like 8 blue Pikmin. So they would need to grow like 50 more new blue Pikmin before they can do that properly.
Was that 15 or 50?
50.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, if they just grew 15, it would take... They would be in another situation where they're waiting minutes and minutes and minutes for, you know, a cave to open while they're just doing nothing, waiting in front. The other cave doesn't have that much health on a gate guarding it, but it does have a gate, a bridge, and then a little water plug. So it's again, like, it's a lot of complication, and you have to take into account that all of that takes, you know, more time to figure out when you've never seen those things in the game before than it would if you could go as fast as you wanted. So I think it's reasonable to do it, but it would take a significant amount of time.
Alright, well, Zed's going in Citadel of Spiders.
I think that's their best plan.
What
Just
is-
play Citadel.
I don't know.
CJ is not realizing the value of Citadel of Spiders at all. And instead CJ is trying to go to the Bullblack's Kingdom, which is just above here. Bullblack's Kingdom has some goals in it. You can look at row 3, column 3 for Crystal Clover and Crystal King. And there is also potentially row 1, column 1 has Tearstone, which is a treasure in Bullblack's Kingdom as well.
But they would run the Citadel of Spiders, so...
Yeah, right. Like, it's still, that row 1, column 1 is still gated anyway by going to Citadel of Spiders. So I feel like it would be more reasonable to start with Citadel of Spiders, which has very quick and easy goals in row 2, column 1 and row 3, column 1, and then see if you can, just like in the last 10 minutes of the game, finish up in Bullblack's Kingdom.
So with 25 minutes left, if Zet does defeat all enemies, Citadel of Spiders, gets key Citadel of Spiders back.
Yeah.
And then, let's just say they get the 3rd Chrysanthemum, defeat another Burrowing Snaglet along the way there, because that's, the synergy there.
Yeah.
And then they just find the yellow 5-pellet and they've tied it back up.
Yeah, they're not that far behind because those 3 last goals that you mentioned are just fairly quick to do.
Right, I don't know why Zet...
But they do need to do them.
Right, I don't know why Zet hasn't gone to do them.
I think it's just that they don't realize yet. When we talked about it with CJ, you heard that they hadn't realized that the second Burrowing Snaglet was also in that area.
No, but
so I don't think.
At the same time, though, surely either Zed or his helper would have noticed they flicked the 2 goals right next to each other.
That makes sense. That's very reasonable. Maybe they weren't paying attention.
Maybe. I mean, it happens. But I know that's something that I've always noticed. They're marking these goals. They also mark these goals within like 2 minutes of each other.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I think Z is maybe just. I think they've just missed this because it's true that if they went there right now and just did that and didn't enter the they should not enter the snaggered hole. They should just do those few goals and then that would get them 2, and then they have these 2 here in column 1 and potentially the column 1 row 1, and also column 3 row 3. All of this is doable quickly enough. But
right now, like you said, is not for whatever reason going for Citadel Spiders and is making
not at all, yeah.
Making I don't want to say misplays, but certainly questionable decision making.
Yeah, this is definitely a misroute. Oh no. Oh, are we going to perplexing pool? Okay, well maybe it's not a misroute at all. Yeah. If that's the case, then I don't think they can catch up.
Yeah,
if that becomes 13. Yeah, so Z is really hyper focusing on this 100 treasure goal. I think at the cost of too much else, because there is a 100 treasure on this sublevel, but it's buried, which means that you need white Pikmin to get it, and Z doesn't have any white Pikmin. Yeah, and the hole has a gate in front of it. So even if they do still need to bring all of their Pikmin through this massacre of electricity everywhere. Okay, and you can... CJ is actually not going to Citadel Spiders. CJ is trying to reach the last 2 caves in the area instead of going to Citadel Spiders.
Maybe they think they have time.
Yeah. But see, there's this electric gate here. So first you need to build the bridge so that your yellow Pikmin can come over. And then once that's done, you need to break the electric gate. And then there's another thing that requires blue Pikmin. It's such a mess. It's not worth it. There's too much here. And then there's another cave that you need to enter for this.
Well, looks like that's making quick work of Citadel Spiders. Wait. He didn't have the Pikmin for them.
Yeah, some Pikmin got buried by the swooping snitch bug, so he needs to go pluck them if he wants them to follow into the next sublevel. I would just leave them there though. Whenever it happens in a speedrun, we just give up on whatever. Oh no, don't worry. They're not. They're just left at base. The only 2 or 3 Pikmin got buried.
It looked like he only had 62 out of 94.
Oh yeah, but it's not a problem. All of the Pikmin that are alive in the sublevel and not buried will follow you to the next sublevel if you just go to the hole and you know.
Okay.
It's very convenient because you don't have to care if they're actually, even if they're in the process of dying but not completely dead yet, then you can still go and it keeps them alive for you. Say they get crushed by a boulder. But between the moment where they get crushed and the moment of their actual death counting, you just enter the next sublevel. The game is alright with that. It just gives you all of your Pikmin back for some reason. It's very nice.
So how many enemies are there on Citadel Spiders 4?
Quite a few, but none of them are threatening. So this is not too annoying to do. You'll see, there's quite a few crabs or crab-like creatures. There's these little guys here, but you could just throw everyone on them and they just die instantly. They have very little health. It takes a little bit to janitor your way through that cave and kill everything, but it's not dangerous. Yeah, it does seem like what was it? Shower room is what CJ has in mind. He's completely disregarding the Citadel of Spiders. Maybe, yeah, I'm not quite sure because the Citadel of Spiders is accessible from the moment you reach Perplexing Pool, right? You're meant to do it as you're next cave after the White Flower Garden. So it's like it's a very early game cave. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, I mean,
It has electricity, but it's not that threatening. And Staggered Hole was 100 times harder than Citadel of Spiders is. So I feel like it would make much more sense to focus on those quick goals in the Citadel, rather than go to the shower room, which I don't even see. Is there anything from shower room on this card?
Amplified
No.
amplifier, I guess.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, SR7 and enter all 4 caves in PP. But that's just gonna take way longer because the last cave is hard to get to. There's just 2 goals available that CJ is not really going for, and you can see that this specific puzzle here, you're meant to be throwing the yellow Pikmin on the ledge to the left, and then they don't all drown like this. But this is very difficult to do properly. I mean, what he's trying to do is difficult to do properly without killing a ton of Pikmin. So it's just, yeah, that's why earlier I was not too excited about the idea of going to this cave. It just seems like it's gonna take a very long time, and he might get 1 goal out of it, enter all 4 PP caves, but not 2. You know, Zet is finishing up killing everything in Citadel of Spiders 4. I don't know if we count those geysers as enemies, but yeah, there's a crab over there. That's probably the last enemy. And there we go. The electric gate is down for CJ, so now he just needs to destroy this plug here, which will drain the water in the region, and then enter, and that'll count for his entry goal. And it's just enter and immediately leave. Okay, yeah, so he's not looking at amplified amplifier, row 4, column 2. He's really hyper-focusing on the enter all caves in PP here. But enter all caves in PP means going into Citadel of Spiders, so I'm curious if he's going to go to Citadel of Spiders now and get the 2 goals for this right now, and then try to also do the... Yeah, that looks like it, because if he wanted to go to the last cave, then he would not be putting his blues away. Okay, that's a good plan. That's we're seeing some Citadel. Or wait, maybe not. Oh no, he's taking his yellow Pikmin because he wants to go unlock the Glutton's Kitchen. No! No! Don't do this! That is a lot of effort to be putting in for this goal. I don't think this goal is getting clicked, if I'm quite honest.
Well, if nothing else, it's certainly opening the door for Zed to make it much closer.
Yeah. Yeah, because Zed is going to get these 2 goals pretty much uncontested then. I wonder if they're keeping a good look at the time, because this is... It's very ambitious to want to enter all 3 of these caves that are left within, 2... I mean, like, 20 minutes, like, more like 14, yeah. And CJ has the same problem as that, where CJ just doesn't have very many blue Pikmin at all. I think only 25. And 25 is not a reasonable number to break down the last gate with, so... Oh yeah. Honestly, like, I would come with 60 and one of the red potions that doubles your DPS for a short while. This is the highest health gate in the game, I believe, and it's only fine in speedruns because you can skip it.
Well, it looks like Zet has finally marked off the all enemies.
Yeah, the complete elimination of all forms of life on that sublevel.
Alright. Now we can move on to 5.
5 has the key.
Yes, that needs to move that, like.
Yeah. Now CJ has 33 blues, I guess, not 25. But I mean that makes zero difference. There's just no chance that this is enough to go to PP. Maybe like it's gonna take a very long time, and he'll have to do it over multiple days. But like, I mean, in 13 minutes, it's very not worth it. And also, it's not worth killing a ton of blues right now on this guy that brings no goals. Okay, that was not that many deaths. That's acceptable.
I don't think there's any.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I thought. Oh, okay. I think there is a misreading of guide or information here, because this bridge gets 1 treasure. The treasure is not being asked for on the card, and I don't even think it's 100 Pokos in value. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what the purpose of building this is. Is it 100 Pokos? But then it's so annoying to get. I'll check that. Yeah, entering Gutton's kitchen. Yeah, for sure. Unless he wants to go down to 3 to make the thing wilt, but you can't make it wilt with only yellow Pikmin, so... Yeah. That would have been very unfortunate if he tried to make it wilt with exclusively yellow Pikmin. Alright, very nice. Yeah, so the bridge that CJ built goes to a treasure that's not worth 100 Pokos, so it is completely useless. I think there must have been a misread of a route or guide here, because, yeah, I don't see what the point of doing that is. Oof, that's 10 Pikmin dead at once. Yeah. Ruthless frogs.
We gotta run.
Yeah. That is gonna get this now. With only 2 white Pikmin though. And it's not on this ledge. Zed is getting the... You see in row 1, column 1, there's Regal Diamond cjs07. It's a buried treasure on this
Does that even
sublevel.
have the other ones?
No.
So why go for it?
I don't know. I think we're in Zed does have... It is worth... No, I think it's 150 actually. I'm not quite sure. That'll be good to read. I think... No, he does have Petrified Heart. He doesn't have Tear Stone, and maybe he's thinking that he can get that in 10 minutes. Which is not unreasonable. That's doable.
I mean, if you go
It's just also...
you might be able to go from the middle to
Yeah, it's possible, like row 3, column 3. That's those two. Getting those 2 is possible. I'm more curious what CJ is doing, honestly, because this is just not collecting. I don't understand what gold is being looked for right now. This is just not any of them.
I suppose once the time's up, we will.
Yeah, well, I'm very curious. I want to ask. I'm so desperate for knowledge. Oh, I didn't see. Did you see how much money that treasure just was? I didn't see it. Ah, damn. I'll quickly look
We'll
for
have to
it.
catch the screen.
Regal Diamond. Oh yeah, it is 100. Okay.
I mean, how many?
That makes sense.
How many hundreds does he have? To be going for it this late in, like he's got to be just like one away.
That's what I'm guessing as well. I imagine that he wanted to get the 100 treasure that is in COS 4, the 4th sub-level, and that might have made it 100.
Yeah, it says right there,
Total.
Regal Diamond 100.
Yeah. I'm guessing they're at either 10 or 11, but I've stopped counting.
I wonder, maybe, I don't know about the 2 crystal ones from row 3, column 3, because if they're worth 100...
No. Crystal Clover is 150 and Crystal King is worth 110.
Wow. It was a nice thought.
Yeah, it was an attempt. We're leaving? Okay, no. That's just because it's the end of the day. Okay, I get it. I wonder why we're not going to Citadel of Spiders. CJ has played so well for 2 hours and 40 minutes, and then the last 20 minutes I have just not understood anything about what's going on that screen.
That's a funny thing to hear. You played so good for so long, and then you started. Who the fuck?
90% of it.
Doing?
Yeah.
The fun thing is that knowing CJ, there's a good chance he watches this back, and in a couple hours we get a message saying, "Alright, so this is what I was doing."
Yeah. Please explain to me. I love when Curtis does that. When I say he plays the sub-level bad in a race, and then I get a DM like 10 hours later, like, "You're stupid. I was actually trying to do this." Love you, Curtis. I'm so upset that we're still not going to Citadel of Spiders.
So is that, what cave is that?
So Zed is back in the Citadel of Spiders, and I think he's looking for the 100 value treasure on sub-level 4. Sub-level 3, sorry, that he skipped the first time around.
Alright.
Yeah, I think here... I imagine at this point, what the thought might be is like, okay, it's 8-11, I've lost this one.
Let's just get one.
Let me just finish my goal that I've been working on all night, because otherwise I'm going to be really, really annoyed. And I think that's kind of fair.
Oh no, that's definitely valid. I mean, it's literally sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah, it's a big sunk cost fallacy.
We talk about sunk cost fallacy a lot, so...
Yeah, I can understand that.
Oh yeah, well it's a huge one, right?
Yeah. So yeah, this is what I was telling you about the gate on the right. Like CJ is just gonna be waiting like this for I like a good amount of time.
Basically, this is
I don't know.
This is what it sounds.
It's gonna be really exciting to see if he can make it into the cave. And then into Citadel of Spiders, which he still hasn't entered in the 5 minutes that are left. My money is on yes, but it will be extremely tight. Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing to do in the meantime, because can't enter the other cave, because that would take away his Pikmin that are working on the gate. Can't bring new guys. Oh, there you go. First segment of the gate is down. It might take like 1 minute per segment of the gate to go down, and that's 3, right? So I expect at like 2:58 he'll be done with his gate. Then maybe he exits at 2:59, and that leaves him like 1 minute to go into the Citadel of Spiders. What a crazy way to play this endgame. Not good, but entertaining for sure. And yeah, okay. This is what Zed is indeed going back into Citadel of Spiders specifically for this 100 value treasure. The cost is sunk. We finish it out. If he has. Oh no! Don't say that.
We don't know how many
No. He has to have 11 if he's going for this. I refuse to believe that this is a play you make when you have 10. One fun fact about those flying enemies here, they're called snitch bugs, and they just steal some of your Pikmin and then throw them in the ground and plant them. They're coded wrong, and when you throw one Pikmin on them, they have an 80% chance to like drop down to the ground helpless. But if you throw more than one Pikmin on them, you would think like, oh, it should weigh them down more, they should fall easier. But no, it actually reduces the chance that they fall down to the ground. It's very stupid.
There you go.
Okay, I believe 12 treasures worth exactly 100 Pokos has been clicked. Good job.
Based on your time estimate, that gate should be coming down very shortly.
Yeah, maybe in the next like 10 to 20 seconds. See, but it just took so long, right? Like 3 minutes of a 3 hour, like 1/60th of the time of this bingo was spent waiting for this gate to come down. And it's still not done. Oh my lord. There you go. Okay, now you need to run. You need to run so fast. Come on, CJ, get it! I'm gonna be so upset if you ignored Citadel of Spiders all this time just to miss this stupid goal.
Run, CJ.
No, that looks doable. That looks doable. Just enter and leave immediately. I don't want to see any waffling.
1 minute 5 seconds.
Oh lord, no, this is okay. Yeah, okay. If he just leaves and goes in the dang cave that he's walked past 12 times, even though it has 3 goals in it, then oh my god. I was so excited for like 2 hours and 35 minutes, and somehow I've just been getting slightly more frustrated every second that he just walks right next to the cave without going into it.
Listening to you freak out at CJ over the last half hour is quite entertaining.
Go in, yes, yes, yes. Okay, with 24 seconds to spare.
I don't think
CJ
they're defeating
makes
all
it.
the enemies in time.
No, definitely not.
Alright. Well, I don't think either of them are getting any other goals in 10 seconds.
No, we're done.
So, let's go ahead. We'll let the timer reach the 3-hour mark and time.
Done. Oh, perfect. That would have bothered me a lot if it stopped on 3:0001 or something like that.
Alright.
Ah, what a match. What a match and a half.
Let's go ahead and pull them in here.
Hello. Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Hi.
No!
Congratulations, CJ.
GG.
GG's.
I was stressing over getting into the last of the caves.
CJ, we have to talk about this. I'm sorry. Like, congratulations, okay. Why did you completely ignore Citadel of Spiders for the last 25 minutes of the game?
So that was on me.
In hindsight, that was not the correct decision, but we tunnel visioned on all 4 caves in Perplexing Pool.
Yeah, I saw that.
The
So
idea
it was just a
was
tunnel vision thing. I realized that in like at the end, like nearing the tail end, that it would have been more efficient to just do Citadel of Spiders.
Yes.
There would have been more
Yes.
goals. But
the
I also
idea
didn't think it
was
was
we
going to
would
take
enter
10
all
minutes to
4
destroy a
caves.
cave to get to one of the caves.
We just enter all 4 caves, and then you leave Citadel of Spiders for last, so
Yes.
that then we could go through the cave with whatever time we had left. That was the idea.
See, what I don't get is that Citadel of Spiders, you need to do nothing specific to enter it. So you could have slotted it at any point in your 4 caves route, right? You could have done it
Yeah.
like immediately after, for example, the shower room.
I didn't really realize that there were 2 goals that were purely
Yeah.
Citadel of Spiders on there.
Okay.
If I
That
had, I
makes sense.
probably would have thought more about that. for better sequencing.
No worries.
I thought that there were
that just happens.
2 goals that referenced it, and which was row 1, column 1, and one of the other 2 row 2 or row 3.
Mhm.
And then we didn't end up doing
All Black's Kingdom.
PK.
That's
so-
something
Yeah.
I do regret, is we spent a little bit too much time trying to get to Bob Black's Kingdom, which didn't end up going anywhere. But
Yeah.
so be it.
I think, to be honest, though, I was screaming at the screen for the last 20 minutes about how you were not going to Citadel Spiders, but your routing overall was, I think, really, really strong. And what impressed me a lot is that you had a very good handle on, the most important Pikmin 2 skill of make multiple things happen at once. Like, except for when you were waiting for that last water gate to come down, that one is just awful.
Yeah, I mean,
You were
more could
almost
be,
always
possibly.
doing like 2 or 3 things at once, and never just waiting around for something to happen. And that is really good. You should try speedrunning this game. You might be very good at it. If
Yeah,
that's-
when I played through a little bit of this game, like to prep for this, and I realized pretty quickly that micromanaging 2 characters is annoying, but also very, very useful.
yes, very fun.
So
I also appreciated your focus at the beginning of the game on progress. Like I think this is what Zed lacked a little bit, because Zed found themselves like a little locked by needing yellows and blues and just getting them a little bit later than you did. And so you had the ability to go into Snagrid Hole and get like 3 goals in there, which was really valuable because there was like the creeping chrysanthemum. No, sorry, the 5. There was like the 3rd creeping chrysanthemum, the 2nd burrowing Snagrid, and then all the goals inside the cave itself. And there was just a lot of value that you got out of getting the blue Pikmin quickly.
Yeah, I don't even know that the Snagrid Hole synergy was necessarily intentional, but like we knew that
It was
there
all
was
planned from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Take the credit. Like we knew that there was a treasure worth 100 there, and the 3rd creeping chrysanthemum, and that it shouldn't have taken too long to get there. And then we found the 2nd Snagrid, and then we figured might as well do the Snagrid Hole goals while we're there. So
we were so happy because, like J-Pep had been saying, we were yelling at you all, go to Citadel Spiders, go to Citadel Spiders. And then Zet comes out of nowhere and goes to Citadel Spiders. We're like,
Yeah,
thank
that was
God
so exciting.
someone's going to Citadel
that
Spiders.
was good.
It was actually looking for a bit there, Zet, to put this into perspective. You going to Citadel Spiders when you did, and CJ not, we were like, oh my God, is that actually making this comeback?
Yeah. I think like with 30 more minutes, you make the comeback.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Maybe 20.
I mean, I must admit, I completely fumbled the yellow 5 pellet. So had I not done this, I actually wanted to go back, but it didn't respawn.
Yeah.
So I couldn't like get it again, and I was like, "Oh shoot! Now I can't get the goal easily anymore." And then we kind of focus on other things. But I also need to give a massive shout out to Pika, who basically was guiding me through everything because I had no idea what I was doing. And
As
so I did
always,
the
shout
best I
out to
could.
the Googlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Those are
curious.
really
Mika, how much
fun
do you
stuff.
actually know? Because I know not much.
So here's the thing. Even when I did play a lot of this game casually years ago, so I did have a lot of casual memory, but then it's like all vague memories and whatnot. So I still had a lot of like a Pikmin wiki open, just trying to. And so here's the thing. I would say indeed we were pretty much neck and neck for a lot of like the first half, or like at least quite close. I think the moment with the yellow palette, just to describe it to CJ and Prezek, what happened was we got the yellow Pikmin at the perplexing pool, but it was at the very end of the day, and so Zed did not have the time to get the yellow palette.
Actually, sorry, the problem was I didn't know that the Pikmin station, what are they called? The propeller 3
The
tripod
the onions.
Yeah, onions. I didn't know that the onion where the pallet is being carried is determined by the color of the Pikmin which carry them. I thought it was by the color of the pallet. So
No.
if I had known this, I would have shot all the yellow Pikmin on it, and it would have gotten to the onion. But instead,
Yeah.
the red Pikmin tried to carry it. Yeah, so that's where I fumbled.
That was really unfortunate. I remember we saw that and cried.
Yeah,
okay.
I learned
didn't
that the
s-
hard way when I was playing through the game to get a feel for everything.
I mean,
So I
didn't
kinda
say it
had
because,
the
because
lesson
you
in
guys
the
were
back pocket.
chatting with us, I remember. But yeah, I think that's the moment that things that they started to tumble down a bit, because after that I was thinking, okay, maybe we can have a bit of synergy, because I was thinking maybe we could find a yellow palette somewhere in the Awakening Woods and then grab the blue one as well. But turns out there was no yellow palette, so I was like, oh crap. So we're like, there goes that synergy. And then it took a lot longer than we expected to get the blue Pikmin. So, and you just kind of go into panic mode, and you're like, okay, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? And I was saying, okay, let's go try try the caves in Perplexing Pool. Because I was thinking, okay, I see, Glutton's Kitchen, Golden Candy Pop. It's like a third level. Let's rush that. But then I went to the wiki and I saw there's a bunch of treasures with 100 Pokos.
Yeah.
So I was telling Zed, okay, let's try and get the 100 Pokos treasures whilst on our way. And we ended up spending way more time than we wanted in Glutton's Kitchen.
CJ, do you know
it
how
was
many
interesting.
100 treasures you guys ended up having?
6 or 7.
Okay.
Not that.
Yeah, we kind of lost count at some point. All things admitted.
The Glutton's Kitchen play was interesting, but I think you just got bitten here by seeing a list and looking at it and thinking like, oh, well, there's a lot of 100 value treasures here. And the list doesn't tell you that one of them is in a bull bear that is, impossible to kill without purples or a bitter spray, which you had neither of. And the other is in the giant bread bug, which is just the most awful sublevel to play casually in any kind of speed.
I hated that when I hated Glutton's Kitchen.
It's very difficult to play properly, and in speedruns it's also terrible.
It's funny that you mentioned those two enemies, because I think those are the two ones that I think I just told that, you know what, screw it, don't skip those, because these ones are clearly going to be a pain. But I mean, in the end, we still got the gold, so I'd still say it was at least something. But yeah, I just kind of wish that we hadn't spent as much time in there, because we could have. I see, for example, when I look at the goals, I see exactly what CJ and Proizek have done. I see what they've done, and I think that was part of what my original plan for Zed was.
I think the tunnel visioning the 12 treasures was not a super good idea, because if you just think about the other goals on the card in terms of, how many treasures do I need to get to finish like column 1 row 1, and it's like 3, right? And then column 3 row 3 is 2. 12 is just such a bigger number than all of those other numbers. That just in terms of efficiency of that goal compared to all of the other goals on the card, I think it ranks pretty low.
That is true.
Definitely for us, it was a goal of opportunity. Yeah. If we were in the area and it didn't require anything major to happen, then we'd go for one. Elsewise.
Yeah.
I am curious about Pikmin 2 bingo in general. Like, what format, if you guys play bingo, do you typically play? Do you play lockout or some form of line?
We play very little, to be honest. Our community is not that big. I've never played a Pikmin 2 bingo before.
You should.
But
free bingo,
sure.
Based purely
Invite us.
Based purely on the commentary that you gave over the last 3 hours, you'd be damn good at it.
Thank you. Peace signing. I believe that we mostly play 2 and 3 line bingo.
Okay.
Lockout would be interesting. Pikmin 2 is a fledgling community in terms of bingo. They haven't yet realized that lockout is the superior way to play.
I like this statement.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah. When I talk to my Sunshine friends, it's like, lockout bingo is an art. It's so beautiful. And then the Pikmin players just think it's dumb and don't see why we should play that. It's very funny.
All right. Any last thoughts?
I was gonna ask CJ and Proizek. So, if you had more time, what would be like the route you would have gone for? What would be your next objective that you're working towards?
Cavernous spiders.
Yes, if
That
those
figures.
Yeah, I hope so.
Then maybe
Uh,
backtracking for Beast Kingdom. Or Bulblax Kingdom, rather.
Yeah, actually, yeah, for me, actually, that was like one of the ideas I had in mind because I saw, for example, that that goal on the top left, Petrified Heart, Tiered Stone, and Regal Diamond. We
Yeah.
had two of
Hmm.
them, and the last one is in that cave. And then there's a bunch of other goals in that cave as well. Like I think there's Crystal Clover and Crystal King,
Yeah.
like in the center.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was another one, or am I misremembering? Oh wait, no, actually, maybe those were the only two. But it's still like 2 goals you could get in there.
Yeah, and you could
So-
probably fit in a few more hundreds here and there.
To say the amount of like game knowledge that you need to do the 12 treasures worth exactly 100 pogos on its own is kind of insane.
Yeah,
God, I would
it's
not
definitely
like
an
to do this
outlier.
without a second.
Yeah. But it's always
Yeah.
interesting seeing because like bingo typically is the battle of game knowledge a lot of the times, and that's kind of by design. So it's always interesting to see what other communities favor in terms of game knowledge when there's different pools of knowledge to pull from for the game.
I saw that.
You saw nothing.
Wait.
Yeah, interesting.
But yeah, we'll pretend I didn't see anything. So I just want to give a big shout out to Zet, who played wonderfully, in those 3 hours. Like I know you were stressed a lot during those 3 hours, but yeah, it's.
I always thought that Pikmin was such a very, wholesome, cutesy
Oh.
game. But I was stressed. My stress level was above 90%
Yeah.
for all the time because it was like, oh no, no, they're dying. Oh no, I have to go there.
Mhm.
And
Man
it
introduced
was-
to the series
It-
after the first game.
It lures you in with the cute guys, and then it's like,
Mhm.
oh, actually, it's a game that is all about being stressed and having a mental
Mhm.
stack seven things deep. Like, cool.
I do not know why this game is so stressful. It has no right being as stressful as it is.
Isn't it fun?
Absolutely.
If you want to speedrun it, we have a very lovely community that would love to have you around.
I have one last question. Do you in the speedrunning community, do you prefer playing the original GameCube release or the Switch versions or the Wii versions, or are they split? Are the split leaderboards? Do you have just a different version modifier, or how does it work? Because this game has been re-released a bunch of times.
Yeah. So our community of English-speaking players is very attached to the GameCube version in particular because of the control scheme, of course.
The control scheme isn't even good. Sorry.
It's we love the C-stick. The C-stick is the most high value, high skill element in this game. You can do so much with it.
Yeah.
And we really like it. It's also the fastest version for the any % category, but it is slower than the Wii New Play Control version for the 100% category.
Oh, interesting.
So we have a very large Japanese community, and they tend to favor the Wii version for 100%, while we still play on GameCube because the C-stick is cool.
I see. No love for the Switch version.
No, the Switch version is slow and bad.
I will say,
It's the worst. That's the worst of every world.
I will say,
Okay,
I checked on
I
the
see.
leaderboard during commentary. The record for GameCube is like 1 hour 30, and the record on Switch is like 1 hour 50.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
You definitely can make this better, but like none of our good players have really cared to give too much attention to a version that we know is very bad.
That's totally valid.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I guess
Thank you.
GG to the other
GG's.
team, to CJ and Prozek. So, well, now it's, I guess, 1-1. So,
Yeah,
Slowpokes
score
took this
1-1,
one home.
tied it up. Let's see match 3 here. So, match 3, we're going to be seeing Pika playing himself against Atomical Sloths. Pika, any guess as to what game you're doing?
Oh, I wonder what.
Turns out, even if you have OBS Studio Mode on, if you add a new source of an image, it'll just show up immediately. Which seems to go against the purpose of studio mode, but whatever. Hey,
Wait,
guess what? Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh,
That'll be
lovely.
fun.
Fun fact, Banjo-Kazooie Bingo, not a game listed on Bingo Sync or Play Bingo.
Oh,
I
good.
happen to know a couple
Get
people.
someone get it on Play Bingo.
I happen to know a couple people. I am possibly in talks with the head guy about getting it onto Play Bingo. But Banjo-Kazooie Bingo. Pika, any experience with Banjo-Kazooie?
No, not
Perfect.
whatsoever.
I can tell you, as someone who actually speedruns Banjo-Kazooie a tiny bit, not an easy game.
Of course it won't.
I'm really excited.
Don't worry, Sloths. I'm working on
what-
getting you the
on what-
best
on-
second money you can
On
buy.
what console is it again? Is it
I would highly recommend doing the N64 version.
okay?
There is a version though
so-
for Xbox 360 if you own it.
I'm assuming
yes.
that that's also N64 original, not N64 Switch bullshit.
There is a version on Switch.
Isn't it
However,
like
I also
Yeah,
objectively
it's on
don't
bad?
recommend it. I would recommend just OG N64.
Okay.
On that note, I can also announce that for match 4, which will be in 2 weeks, I want to make sure I get this right because knowing me, I will say the wrong names and get in trouble about it.
Just the wrong people.
Just the wrong.
Sorry, guys.
people, you
Change
know.
plans.
But I believe that
We're going to be having a Pikastrophe again, followed by the Queen of England.
you nailed it. Back from the dead. No, we'll be seeing representing Wilhelm Scream. We will see Golden Devil, and representing Slowpokes will be MP Mason.
Oh, well, that's people I know.
Oh,
Both.
well, there
That's
you go.
crazy.
So
Good
you'll have
luck
to
both.
check back in 2 weeks and see what
Yeah,
games they end up doing.
Clearly.
All right. As a reminder to everyone, this is where I would put up the graphic if I had it. Pika will probably kill me later because I don't have it. But hey, guess what? Bingothon summer, it's happening. Just about 2 months away. Submissions are open now. So if you want to submit things to Bingothon, such as either Pikmin or Banjo-Kazooie or some other game, I've heard
Literally anything else.
I've heard Pokemon's a really good thing. Submit it. We want to see all sorts of bingos. We want to see new bingos, old bingos.
Submit.
I'm gonna probably continue trying to pressure Zet into submitting something. Perfect. Yeah.
I'm working on picking up something really interesting.
Oh, he's vanished.
You guys will stay tuned to hear about.
Yeah.
Zet didn't like the idea.
Yeah, I have not making any promises.
No, it's fine. It's all good.
There's some
But-
very committal noises.
But everyone should try to find something to submit. There's so many games with amazing bingos out there. So do whatever you
And there's so
know.
many amazing games that don't have bingos that you can make bingo for.
Exactly.
This is your daily reminder to use Play Bingo. Use Play Bingo, otherwise I will cry.
That too, and you don't want to see Proeza cry. I know it's ugly.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get going on a raid here to Zelda speedruns. They are doing a randomizer, some sort of randomizer in Skyward Sword. Not exactly bingo, but randomizer. Honestly, just as chaotic as bingo. If you enjoy watching bingo content, you will enjoy randomizer content.
Play randomizer bingo for maximum chaos.
I can confirm as someone who does almost weekly Pokemon Crystal randomizer bingo. It is chaos.
Ouch.
But go ahead. We will see you all next week now with Banjo-Kazooie. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful Easter if you celebrate it. Toodaloo.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
everyone.
See ya.